Hey T, hey J Money.
Hey Trish.
Okay, hey you guys, hey Trish. I was listening to you, but the intro was playing, and I was trying not to talk through the intro.
My bad. I'm so sorry. Right when I said that, I went, the intro's probably playing. Oh no, I did it again.
You came in, you didn't know that the intro was starting, so. All right. So Jay is on with us tonight, and Bree will be a little bit later. She probably gonna be around when Bold come on because they got inclement weather down there. They got tornado warnings or something. So, and then Key should be on pretty shortly. So yes, it's showtime, Vicky. All right, welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where we here will recap both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of June 24th through June 28th. We usually do Young and the Restless in the first half of the show. Second half of the show, Bold and the Beautiful. And then we have a few other segments toward the end, Flip the Script, who's taken several seats. And then our star of the week. And then our pickle of the week. So, all right. Did you guys have a good week?
I did.
Yeah, it was a solid week. It was good.
It was busy for me, especially yesterday. So, but early part of the week it was pretty smooth. But I guess when it's busy, it makes the week go by faster or the day go by faster. So that's cool.
It does.
All right. Did you guys get to see the 2 standalone videos I did this week?
I have not been online as much. I tried to get through even all the chat and I couldn't get through.
Yeah, I know. It'd be 1,000 messages in there.
I tried. I'm like, I don't have any more minutes. Oh my gosh. So I did not. I'll have to go take a look at them.
Hey, Keish.
Yeah, I still need to watch them too.
Hey.
I saw the posting for the Paris and Thomas one. What was the other one? What was the other standby?
The audacity and the entitlement of Hope Logan.
Yes. I can't wait to see it. Hi, Keish.
Hi. Wait.
Hey, Keish.
Hi.
What were you about to say, Keish?
I was asking what y'all was talking about.
So I was asking them if they saw the 2 standalone videos that I did this week. So I did one on Wednesday, which was talking about the entitlement and the audacity of Hope Logan.
Oh.
And I also did a standalone video today talking about how Paris and Thomas is not a rebound.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check them out.
Yep. So yeah, some people in the chat said that they did see them. So I'm trying to work on doing a little bit more standalone content instead. I know I do we do the lives, the recaps, the spoilers and stuff like that, but I'm trying to also keep up with the comings and the goings. And I got to do a video on Laura Lee Bell and what's the guy that plays Romalati? I forgot his name. Michael Damian. There you go. As they are going over to Bold in August. So really, Jay?
I don't get enough time on that show already with the characters.
Exactly.
Cricket over there. Like, why?
Yeah, I mean,
that don't get enough time already. Why are we bringing them over?
Yeah, I'm curious. What are they gonna do on Bold? I mean, if you're gonna cross somebody over, send, I don't know, maybe Adam over there to maybe interfere with Finn and Steffi's marriage or something. I don't know.
It would make sense for somebody like Audra or even Kyle, since they're getting Glissade started, and you would think maybe there's some LA business people that they would have to go over there to meet, something like that. But you know what I mean? Like something that makes more sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because they said it was like they were trying to tie it into Brooke's bedroom line, and I'm like, what does a musician and a lawyer have to do?
Is he gonna write the commercial jingle or the music for the promo to Brooke's bedroom? A little guitar playing.
That's hilarious. He gonna be back there singing while they, have Brooke or somebody else walking, standing in that bed with some lingerie on or something. I don't know.
Sexually strutting around while he plays the guitar music in the background, something like that. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, so you probably are gonna start seeing more targeted solo videos, you guys, of different things that, either speaking on history or actual spoilers that leads into a specific storyline. So that's what you're probably going to see a little bit more. But anyway, let's get on to The Young and the Restless. And I'm going to give a summary and then we'll break down the storylines for this past week. So, for The Young and the Restless, let me bring up the pictures. For the week of the 24th through the 28th, Sharon is startled catching Nick and Phyllis holding hands, and Lily accuses Devon of sabotage. Jill has second thoughts about the demerger, and Lily reminisces about Neil, and Connor tries to cut himself. Jack backs his wife when Diane fires Kyle, and who immediately runs to accept Victor's job offer. And then finally, Mariah notices something's off or something's wrong with Sharon, who later makes a distress call to her doctor, and Diane continues to justify herself and her decisions to Jack. Where y'all want to start? Y'all want to talk about Sharon right quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Are you guys interested in another storyline like this? Because we had Ashley. We also had Nikki with the alcohol. We got Connor. And now it looked like we might have Sharon going down with a similar storyline as well.
No, it's a hard no for me. I need some lighthearted, you can have your corporate stuff going on and everything. You can have those. Give us some kind of a remote shoot for this. Do something that is fun and uplifting, because the state of the world today is just unbelievable, and we need a break from this kind of stress. Come on, man. Give us something fun. I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep going. We had all three of those. Well, we had the alcohol, we had the DID, and then we had the OCD all at the same time.
And Claire.
And Claire. Yeah, go ahead, Keish. What you think about it?
I feel like they could have given Sharon something along the lines of business, like a business storyline, since she has her what was that company that she just started? Or
Cassidy. Yeah.
Yeah, why not have her? Why not give her a storyline that has something to do with that instead of going down this road with her? I mean, Sharon Case will, whatever they're going to give to her, she's going to kill it no matter what. But I feel like they could have given her something better than a possible mental health crisis.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, Trish and Keith said both of their thoughts are exactly how I feel. To go along with Trish, it definitely feels like there's been too much gloom on the show, and dealing with the Claire situation, dealing with Nikki's situation, Connor's situation. So I felt like, and then even Sharon herself, coming off the Cameron thing. I would have preferred, especially with it being like summer, I would have preferred like a more fun, uplifting kind of story. Show her developing her business. You could have done some great things. Kind of with the summer theme, with it, building her company up, meeting different investors or things like that. You could have had like a more kind of like happier kind of story for her, coming off of the camera situation and just showing her build up the business that she got out of it. I felt like we've had enough of the gloom and doom type stuff, and we're still dealing with other situations already too. So to add another potential one, I feel like it's a bit too much.
Yeah, sure. We did say Ashley. We said the DID storyline. TA is. I agree with TA. Where's the romance?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? I mean, we don't have. Do we have any romantic storylines going on right now? Well, there is one lightly coming. We'll see. Alan kiss Tracy on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, what else do we have? You know,
Yeah, they barely show Summer and Chance anymore.
right?
We don't really see Abby and Devon in that kind of setting anymore.
Nope,
Billy
nope.
doesn't have anyone right now.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I, I think maybe Adam and Sally have been the closest that we've had amongst the cast.
And see, even the Tracy and Alan thing has the potential to go gloom and doom, because if that turns out to be Martin,
oh no, I'm so skeptical.
So that's gonna go down a dark route too, if that happens.
right.
I saw that posted places. I'm just like, that's so illogical. How do you change a shirt midway fall?
After the fall.
Yeah, because and that was the thing, because people were saying, "Oh, is it Martin or is it Alan?" And I did a clip where Martin had the button up, and I mean Alan had the button up, and Martin had the pullover, or one of the, or the opposite. So I don't know, unless, like you say, mid fall before.
You know what? There's another option. Okay, there's another option for this. It just hit me. What if Alan was pretending to be Martin, who started out pretending to be Alan, and they're both insane, and now only one's gone?
I can see Young and the Restless pulling some crap like that, and in like a month, we're gonna find out that it's the wrong brother,
or both were the wrong brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both had issues.
And there's a hidden triplet.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Now, I actually didn't get a chance to see the fight scene. When they both fell over, did everyone head down there?
I don't remember.
Because maybe he could have switched the pool over while everybody was heading down there.
So that was what.
Amount of blood. I'm sorry, Keisha.
Oh no, you're fine. I was gonna say that was what I initially, like when it first happened. That was my initial thought, was what if he switched the shirts, and then Trish snapped me back to reality, and she said, "Well, there would have been a lot of blood."
Yeah, I mean, if that other one of those people are unalived at this point, there had to be some serious injury. So there would have been some blood or something on the shirt if he had took it off of the one who is not alive anymore.
Right.
Well, if he was wearing the shirt and then the pullover up over it, maybe only the shirt caught the blood and the pullover didn't.
I don't know, but we'll have to see, because we need to get back to this storyline. We don't know if that's going to even happen. All right. Yeah, so I'm not really feeling this storyline with Sharon, because I mean, she's spacing off, she's losing time. And it's the medication I think she's complaining about. And Mariah, I don't know who said this. Was it Keish or Bree? One of y'all said this earlier, that they give props to Mariah for instantly noticing what's going on with her mom compared to what Abby did with her mom.
Oh, that was Bree. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta get, because she was like, oh no, something is off. And she immediately, tried to bring some attention to it. Whereas Abby was like, oh, okay, you all right? All right, cool.
Abby's just skipping through life.
Right. And then got mad because ain't nobody tell her nothing. Well, ma'am, you should have checked on your mama.
She did a little tap dance on the corner and turned around and skipped back home and forgot to check.
Exactly.
And she see it? No, you wouldn't even listen. No, but it was the wrong messenger.
Right. Tucker tried to tell her, go check on your mama. I mean, what's wrong with a message like that? Check on your mother. What they got to do with him?
I mean, if someone told me to check on my mother, I'd be like, I'd be listening, because, I mean, well, she's not even here anymore, so. be really not a good thing if someone told me I needed to check on.
Yeah, I mean, something's up. I mean, but they didn't listen. And she's like, oh my God. I wish he told me and I didn't even, yeah, Tucker knew before I did. Girl, when you was sitting around yapping about yourself and Ashley was sitting at the table talking about me, something was wrong right there.
So Maya in the comments is bringing up the flashbacks about the accident with Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching it this week. It's like, why? Where are they going with this? Because they haven't really done any flashbacks about any of that, and I don't know how long.
In years.
Yeah. So
but here's the other thing, Keish. Did you hear Faith and Lucy talking about drinking alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are they? I mean, and Lucy seemed like she is really, really curious about drinking.
Yeah, take her out.
And just the fact that they're even putting Lucy and Faith in each other's orbit, to me is a little bit random because she's in college. Lucy is like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you putting these two in scenes together instead of, I don't know, maybe Johnny, who's about the same age as Lucy?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to revisit that for the summer, because we had Lucy and Johnny crushing on each other before, and now, man, Johnny didn't got tall. The boy that plays him. And Lucy, I like her haircut. Her hair, the little bob, is kind of cute on her.
Yeah.
The bob is back, man.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, it's perfect because the interesting thing is her hair is the same color as Daisy. So that was a perfect. I wish they would do something with that storyline, tying Sheila back to Lucy,
Is anybody bothered by Lucy's curiosity into Faith's situation? I found it
morbid.
Yeah, a little morbid, a little too obsessed. Like specifically the whole kidnapping part. She seems so interested in talking about that kidnapping part, and I don't know. Her behavior, I found it like very kind of unsettling and weird.
So go ahead, Keish.
Cheryl in the comments said Lucy seemed to be fascinated by what happened to Faith. Lucy is definitely Sheila and Phyllis's granddaughter.
Right. I mean, she got the perfect mixture of chaos in her. Mm-hmm. God, both of her grandmothers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's a show.
I know.
It was a little the way it was like the excitement she had in her voice. Yeah. Said, "Oh, you had a bomb strapped to you," and whatever else it was she said to her, and it's just kind of like inappropriate.
Right, and she was like, and she was like, "Man, can we? I would like to know more about it." And Faith was like, "Oh, well, we'll talk about it another time." And I'm like, "Okay." So where are they going with this? Are they going to make Lucy dark?
Well, somebody said online, I can't remember which site it was, but they were asking, is Lucy going to prove to be anesthetized due to video game violence? And is that why she's obsessed? Because, I mean, her likeness is in a video game, and Daniel and she played video games, so are they going to do something highlighting video game violence, is what someone was asking on one of the Facebook pages.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, it's in her to go dark.
It is in her to go dark. I mean, especially, yeah.
What's Trish?
I mean, just, the lunacy on both sides of her family is historic.
Yeah, it is, between Phyllis and what a mixture. Phyllis and Sheila Carter.
And then y'all don't even mention her mother. Her mother herself.
Daisy, right.
Yeah.
Ooh, and wait a minute, isn't Terrible Tom her father?
Who is Daisy?
Daisy and Ryder.
Is it Tom? I can't remember. I think you might be right.
Oh, that would make her Kevin's sister then, huh?
Whose sister?
Half sister.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear the name.
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Yeah, technically.
Oh, that girl. Yeah.
Man, you talking about the genetics.
It's nothing but trouble.
Oh yeah, Amaya said yes. Tom is her dad.
Okay.
Oh God. So you got a mixture of Sheila, Phyllis, and Terrible Tom in that child.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Right.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
And Daisy.
And
So
yeah, and Daisy.
Sheila, and Phyllis.
Yep. Go ahead, Trish.
Jenna, yeah, you're right. Heather and Daniel did look shocked when she said that at the table. That was crazy.
Yeah, so are they going somewhere with that?
And there again, that's another storyline that is absolutely not uplifting.
Yeah. It's dark. It's dark. I'm curious, but at this point, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with the whole Sharon thing. I mean, we had the whole thing with Josh Morrow last week, and they had made those admissions and faith, to Faith and all of that. What do you think about the whole breakup with Faith and Moses? Because she was calling that boy a jerk.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, but don't most young teens or, teens call the person that breaks up with them a jerk?
Did they actually say what happened with those two? And did I miss something?
He said that Moses told her that they needed to date other people.
Oh,
that was really it.
That's right.
Okay. Well, she took it pretty hard. I guess she wasn't ready to date other people, but he was, so. Okay.
I'm surprised they did it that way because Moses has always been just the nicest, sweetest person. And I had always thought when those two break up, it would be because she had a wandering eye or she found another boy that she liked. But they turned around and made him the bad guy in it, which I shouldn't be surprised about.
Go ahead. What did you say, Trish?
I agree completely, J Money. Of course, he's got to be the bad guy. I say though, with Hope getting the
Hope.
With Faith getting the transplant and everything from her brother. Sorry, y'all. I meant Faith when she got. Is anyone named Joy? I don't think so.
Joy.
Faith, Hope, Joy, Love.
Oh my God.
They made her come back as a kinder person after that. She was real snarky before that. She had gotten real snarky. And now after all of this, now she's the sweet older teen.
Yeah.
So I guess they had to flip-flop it and make it his fault.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I'm like, Moses was always really nice, really intelligent, very respectful. And then they made him like a jerk. And I'm like, why?
But I mean, I don't think he's a jerk for stating how he feels. I mean, if you want to date other people, you need to release the person that you're dating, and then you go date other people. And
exactly.
Otherwise, it's cheating.
Exactly. I mean, he could have cheated.
Anybody could.
Right. I mean, he told you, look, maybe we should see other people.
Yeah.
So, but obviously because it was a breakup on her end and it hurt, he's now the jerk. So,
of course.
All right, let's move on to another storyline. We gonna talk about what happened in Maryland with Connor. Now, here's my thing. How do you go from this boy seeming like he's with a clear head, he's enjoying his pizza, he's not afraid to eat, he's talking about the other children and how they need help, and he's looking forward to going home and having a good time with his parents, to he cut himself. Now, I remember doing a chat on Wednesday, Bree and I, and somebody in the chat says they don't know if a OCD actually truly does that. Okay, so let's just say it wasn't. Do you guys think that something nefarious is going on at that institution?
Yes.
Yes.
Potentially.
Okay.
A lot of people have been saying that from the jump, that they felt like that place was cultish, or there was some weird stuff going on. So I think it could be potentially, but I don't know. I'm feeling like they really are having this boy go through this stuff.
Well, do y'all remember years ago whenever he couldn't stand the fact that Christian was getting attention and he locked Christian in that shed? They couldn't find him for several hours.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he's always been different.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't trust the facility.
Yeah, my thing is, usually when there's an incident, normally they make an incident, and I know this is a soap, but there's an incident report. They contact the parents to come to the institution. They put the kid in a holding, like a holding area or something, and then give recommendations once the parents get there to say, hey, this is the situation, this is what we found, maybe even show some footage, something, and then say, hey, what would you like to do? We're considering inpatient. It was her showing up at the hotel telling them what happened, which they have no proof of, and the fact of the matter that they automatically put the kid in inpatient.
That was my question, was did they give that facility power of attorney over their son when they admitted it?
That's a good question, because I know that if you do give them POA or sign over some type of rights to the child, then maybe they do have the final say, the institution. But I don't remember anything about any of that, or them bringing it up saying, hey, we have to sign over this, that, and the third. It's just weird to me that she showed up at their hotel room telling them that this happened, and it's all her word of mouth only, and no proof, no photos, not even a picture of the cut, nothing.
Well, and real quick, if I may, that's one of the reasons why I've thought that this place was bad, because they're not showing any proof of anything, and that's exactly what happened to Paris Hilton in real life, and she's actually going in front of Congress recently, to promote safety and to actually break up this $23 billion industry that is breaking kids. And her experience was horrific. So I am just wondering, because they didn't show anything, because they didn't have them come on site, is it that they're just trying to milk money and that they're just abusing?
That's what Cheryl Hines said in the comments section. Is it possible that they're just trying to get money out? I mean, if this boy gets well, which he seemed like he was in a better place. When when they had their visit together as a family, and then they say, you know what, he's doing well, send him home. You talking about you got a Newman paycheck on the hook.
Right.
I mean, what do y'all think, Trish and Keish? I mean, Jay and Keish.
I agree with you guys. I think that there's something going on with that facility. I've always thought it was odd the way that they isolate Connor from his parents. And it just doesn't make sense that they had such a great day with him, and then within an hour or two he's cutting himself now.
Right.
So I think the theory of them either abusing the kids in some way, or maybe even just making up stories to keep them there longer, to milk them for more money, is a good possibility. Or they're just completely deranged and they just, for whatever reason, are enjoying torturing these kids mentally.
And that's why... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keish.
Oh, no, I'm done.
That's why I think they should have asked more questions. They got caught up in the emotion of it all, which that's understandable. That's shocking to hear. But at the same time, like when the school called and, they like, hey, we think your son, like my son had a little hairline fracture. I want to know how it happened. I need to come up there and talk to somebody. Show me something. What was he doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to be like, and again, everybody's different. But they just was like, they took her word and now they can't see their son, and they're not going to know anything for another 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just weird to me with this whole thing. So I'm wondering if they're going somewhere with that. But on the flip side, we saw the Friday preview for next week where we see, and I don't know, and I think somebody brought it up in the chat. Could it be a dream or something? Where we see Adam and Chelsea kissing. So is it also just a storyline to bring those two back together? I know you been listen. Trish, you were in the Facebook group. You put up. you.
No, not these two together. I know other people just love them, but I just cannot stand Chelsea and Adam together, and I just can't. And I'm sure that's what they're gonna do. And I'll still watch it because it's my show. But come on.
I know. I see a couple of Kim tests that was going on this week. I'm wondering if they were also Kim testing Billy and Sally.
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say I noticed that too. I felt like that was a little bit of a contest between Billy and Sally, and then the Adam and Chelsea thing. I've been feeling that for a little bit here. It felt like they was leading towards those two. Even before the hug that Sally walked in on. But I felt like that was like kind of the defining moment that they was going to push them together because there was that weird, awkward silence when Sally walked in on them hugging and they didn't really address it. I'm like, yeah, it looks like they're trying to head towards putting Adam and Chelsea into a situation.
Exactly. And another Kim test I saw this week was Chance and Lily. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a whole bunch of couple swaps this summer.
We'll do something.
Yeah, well, at least if they do, that'll get us some romance for the summer. Yeah, whether we like it or not is the question.
Right. Look, because I did notice the Chance and Lily thing too. I even posted in our little group chat, what would y'all think of that? But if they do go that route, and it looks like they're still going on with the Kyle and Claire thing, where does that put Summer?
Well, Summer was up in Audra's face today talking about what's going on with Kyle.
The look on her face when she made the look when Audra walked away. I was laughing so hard.
See, I think they're gonna do something with Kyle and Claire. So even if Summer is showing interest in Kyle, if he ends up with Claire, and then she ends up losing Chance to Lily, who does that leave for Summer?
I don't know, but the what is that called? The custody situation is coming up next week, so we're gonna see them. I'm wondering because we had this conversation on this chat whether or not Kyle would be, possibly trying to cause issues with Summer and the custody thing. So she's gonna bring that up next week. So we'll see where that goes. For July sweeps, it might be like Amaya said, Summer, Kyle, and Claire triangle.
That would be so lame.
And if Claire loses that, does she snap again?
Well, here's the thing: he's working for Victor, so more than likely Victor will probably be pushing. Well, but Summer is his granddaughter, and so is Claire. Who would he root for?
And remember, he's only hiring Kyle because he wants to really bring Jack Abbott down, and he's really just using Kyle. I don't think because he really doesn't want them anywhere near the Abbotts at all.
Right. All right, because we got to talk about the Abbotts in a little bit. We got to talk about these Winters because this whole thing was a hot mess. So, first of all, Mamie came in there this week, and oh my God, Trish has an issue with Mamie, Diane, and Sheila Carter.
My heavy sighs are coming out in my out loud voice.
Yeah. All I said was Mamie, and you was like, ugh. So, here's the thing. Mamie came in there, and I know, I just think Devon was rude. In my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think they both were rude.
You think they both were rude?
I do.
What about you, Jay and Keish?
Um, yeah, to an extent, I think they were both a little bit rude.
Okay. Well, she got up out of there, and then they decided to go ahead and start this whole fake bamboozle of Billy plan. And they ended up bamboozling each other. Because they didn't know who was real. Well, you were too real. You sound like you actually agree. Well, you sound like you was too. I'm like, but that's what y'all were trying to do.
They're both idiots.
I know.
Right? Y'all, the incompetence is staggering.
Oh my God. It was. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Both Lily and Devon wanted to play this plan out to fool Billy, and they end up fooling each other.
Yeah, they keep going in circles with the two of them with their mistrust of each other, and I feel like they've been doing this for like two years straight. It's like you think that they're finally coming together, they're finally getting over whatever trust issues they have with each other, and then bam, something stupid happens, and they're back to square one of not trusting each other again. And it's like, I'm so sick of this. I'm just ready for those companies to be split up, or Devon to get his company back, and he can go and run his company however he wants to run it.
Yep.
And since Lily wants to work for Jill so bad, she can go over there and she can work for Jill, and she can deal with Billy and leave her family alone. Like, at this point, it's clear that they just can't work together.
Yep.
Apparently, that boy Devon put on his best Denzel impression, and he acted so well. Lily was really believing it, and then he started believing that she was really wanting to stay. So I guess they both did such great acting. They became Denzel and Halle Berry, I guess, and they believe in each other too much.
Shut up, Jay.
And it's really like the self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're okay, so we're gonna pretend we're gonna screw each other over. Okay, so we're screwing each other over, pretending. Hey, I think you were screwing me over.
Right. And then Nate sided with Lily, and Devon got mad.
Nate had me cracking up in that scene because Devon looked back at Nate and was trying to get like his cosign. He was like, I don't have nothing to do with this. I'm staying out of it.
Exactly.
Nate was Switzerland in that situation.
Exactly. Y'all, I mean, honestly, the only one who actually has green in this game is Devon and Jill. Everybody else is just an employee.
That is true.
They don't have anything.
Yep. And Billy, because Billy has her power too.
Isn't she going to take it back?
I don't know.
Well, start going sideways, and he starts ruining the company like Devon and some others expect. She'll definitely take it back.
Yeah.
Well, here's
what's gonna happen. Billy can't do a stint without ruining something.
Right.
Or everything.
Well, I forgot about this part because Mamie had told Devon about the fact that he know that Tucker lost his company, and it's like, Devon, you didn't check on your daddy. Abby didn't check on her mama. Both of y'all in the dark. Now I know. Go ahead, Keish.
Devon and Tucker don't even talk to each other, so I wouldn't have.
I know, but still, he was sitting up there like, yeah, you didn't know, because the same man, Mr. Newman, was the one that ended up taking your daddy's company in the first place. So, you know what? I just don't like the way they exited Tucker.
Oh, me too. I'm disappointed in that whole situation.
Y'all could have did. The last time we saw Tucker was with him standing outside Jack's door in Paris when he thought that he was the one that bought out the shares. And that was it. And then we heard Audra today telling Sally, oh, he was so hurt and broken, and I just left him there, and now he can maybe go back to the ashram or somewhere else.
Well, so I'm trying to even think if I've ever seen any negative comment about Tucker. Everything I've ever seen has been he steals the scene, he's hilarious, We love him. We wish he was in more stuff. I never saw anybody saying, man, ditch that character. And here we're losing like a beloved character. We love this guy. Like, what is happening?
So I think with Trevor St. John, he's doing his own productions now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got a lot of his own projects. He was announcing them on this news program I saw, and they was like, "Oh, I'm excited to do, my upcoming." So I'm thinking he's kind of did this little bit for a stint for a while, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna move on to my stuff." So I'm thinking that's probably why.
I'm gonna miss him.
I know that dude is hilarious.
So good.
Yeah, I love Silas Tucker.
Yeah.
He said his own productions. I know it's probably too early to ask, but did he is it going to be on a network? Is it streaming? Is there any idea of what his stuff is going to be airing on?
Let me see. Trevor, there he is. Okay, so let's see. He was on KREM News. Hold on, let me see. He shares his insight about his movie debut, A Good Enough Day. So he produced this movie that he's in. It's going to be on Prime TV, Prime Video, or Prime TV, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And Apple TV. And then he's doing another something called The Locker Room. Oh yeah, he's still talking about A Good Enough Day, that movie that he's the director, the writer, and the star in that movie. So.
I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
I saw there was like a trailer for it.
Yes.
It looks really good.
Yep. So I thought about checking it out. Let's see. Sometimes you be looking for what you saw in him on a different show, with some characters that cross over to other things. Mm-hmm. Like when, I don't know if you guys remember seeing Eric Braeden when he played in Creed. Did y'all see that? Was it Creed 3? And he was sitting at the bar. What you?
Back and watch.
Yeah, he was sitting at the bar. And I'm like, is that Victor?
Yeah, because I love Creed 3, but I don't recall seeing him. I'm going to have to watch that again.
Let me see. Hold on.
Jonathan Majors was amazing in Creed 3, by the way.
Let's see. Eric.
That whole trilogy. So I know this is off topic, but I remember when the first Creed came out, because Rocky, of course, super popular franchise. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody was expecting for this to be corny, and because it's a spin-off of Rocky, a classic. Mm-hmm. Man, every single movie in that trilogy has been good.
Yeah, it actually has been. And to be honest, his 3 movies stack up against any of the Rocky movies. His trilogy is really good. Each film is good. Rocky has some bad ones, like Rocky 5, where he was fighting Tommy Gunn in the streets. That was horrible. And,
couldn't finish.
Yeah.
Yep. So sometimes you'll see them in other movies. Some of the stars, like I think, what's his name? Tanner is playing in something. Tanner Novlin. And you'll see them one way, like playing on Bold or something, and you see them in another movie acting a whole different way, and it's like, dang. And same thing with Annika when she played in that, what was that movie she played with the drug dealers or something?
To the Game.
Yeah. She was a totally different person than Hope Logan.
Yes, she was an assassin.
Oh, was she? I haven't watched it. I think she was in that, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I actually haven't watched it either. My mom was watching it, and she loves it because there's 2 of them. My mom loves both of those movies, and she called me. She's like, "Yo, look," and she was telling me it's Hope from B&B, and I was like, "What?" And then she was telling me what she was doing in the movie. I said, "Wow, okay."
Mm-hmm.
An assassin.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she was not a Hope Logan. She put Hope Logan to shame in that movie.
You have to check that out.
All right, yeah. So bye, Trevor. But good luck on your future projects and everything. So I'm gonna have to check out that movie. But back to the Winters. Yeah. So I just, like you said, Keish, it's just It's just terrible. They look foolish.
They
And
do.
so,
Oh,
You go.
no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, y'all know how much that I adored Devon. I always had great things to say about that character, and then just all of a sudden, he's just like off the rails in the last really couple of years. It's been like, man, really, dude, come on. And he should have stuck with his. And I know it's the writers, but God, he should have stuck with his gut and not done this whole merger thing.
yeah. Now he's regretting it. That was the first thing he wanted to do. They went through the whole IPO, brought in Amanda, ended up keeping the company together anyway, and now here we are about to break it up.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And they, you know what, they just, like one of y'all just said, they just need to go back and go their separate ways. Let Billy run that company in the ground.
So at the end of the episode, that day of their argument, Jill was telling Billy basically that she changed her mind about the agreement to split the companies up.
Yeah, she was having second thoughts. Yep, and then next week she gonna vote against it. But I think there's gonna be because there's a celebration that's supposed to happen, as we saw in the Friday preview. So I'm assuming they had enough votes to go with the demerger. So
I felt like when Jill said that to Lily, she was testing her. It felt like she was looking for a reaction.
I just think this.
So it made me wonder: was she suspicious of Lily's true intentions? And like she was like trying to get a feel for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how many people? So does Billy get a vote, or because if they say it again?
He has Jill's voting powers.
Yeah, but Jill is going to vote next week.
He's on the board. The board votes.
Okay.
He does get a vote too.
Yeah.
Okay, then somebody outweighed the situation, obviously. I wonder which way Abby voted. Because we'll see her next week, too, so.
In the previews, did it show Lily with Billy and she said,
congratulations, yep.
We won or something like that?
Yep.
I think she said you got what you wanted.
Right.
Is that what she said?
Correct.
I think it was him that said we won.
Yeah, he said we won, didn't we? Right.
Wouldn't that mean they didn't go through with the merger?
Well, no, that means that they did.
Or he wants the merger to be dissolved.
Right. Yeah, he wants it to split. Right. So go ahead, Keish.
I was just saying it's so confusing because they keep going back and forth with who wants to do it and who doesn't want it. So, yeah. So obviously Jill got outbidded. So, just like an eBay auction. So.
It's just a dynastic corporation. That's all.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just look like they just all over the place in that office. I'm surprised the company is running. Because the leaders at the top is just all discombobulated. Except Nate. He's sitting up there looking like, what's him and Chance?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, him and Chance are both, they both had me cracking up when they put in their 2 cents.
Right.
Both of them are sitting back like, y'all are a mess.
Okay, so there's another company about to be in shambles, and I'm going to open up the floor to Trish because we was talking about you on Wednesday.
What did I miss?
Well, we was talking about how you were going to feel about Diane these last couple days.
Oh my God, seriously? Y'all, she is such a victim, isn't she? I mean, it's like Kyle is Kyle. He's gonna do stupid stuff. You expect him to do stupid stuff. They didn't show us where he told that guy not to call her or anything. The guy didn't take her call. Maybe he couldn't take her call. Do y'all really think that another company would say, oh yes, we've given him the message, but he's not going to call you? There's a lot of really busy people out there. Mm-hmm. And at that level, CEO to CEO, you may not get an immediate call back. And The way she said, whenever they said that he had a good deal already secured, once you have a deal secured and you've had that verbal agreement, to try to go back on it is basically a blight on your business relationship. And that's from this, what I heard is what Diane was trying to do. So in my opinion, Kyle probably did save their reputation with that company, if that is in fact true, but we'll never know because they never tell us the whole story. But yeah, Diane is to just outright fire him after she's been back for so short a time period, after being, 6 feet under for so many years. To me, that was like, wow, man, what a work.
I thought you was going to say something else.
I would not. I'm trying to be so good for your show. I'm trying to behave.
Yeah, I was not, like I said, does Kyle act like a jerk sometimes? Absolutely. Okay. But this man, your son, was trying to cover for you and the business. Obviously, they're not comfortable working. You just got this job. Now, granted, I gotta say, she did try many times last year to say, hey, Kyle, you want the job? Take the job. You want the job? Take the job. He didn't. But Jack also has a part in this. This man, first of all, has been non existent for the last 6 months. And then, second of all, when he comes back in the office to pick up his stuff and all of that, and Jack said, go talk to him. No, you go talk to him. You're the head CEO over this whole thing. I mean, you trying to get Diane to handle this. Y'all got to rein that boy in, but it's too late because Victor got his claws in him.
I honestly, when Diane screws up so bad and Jack realizes what's happened, I'm gonna just laugh.
Well, that's coming up next Thursday because she's going to be held accountable to her actions.
Oh.
Not next Thursday, next Wednesday, because next Thursday is the 4th. Yeah, I'm not happy about the fact that he tried to save her butt, and then this is what she do. She still think that was the best decision to fire him. What y'all think, Keisha and Jay?
I'll go ahead, Keisha.
I think maybe firing him was a step too far.
Mm-hmm.
However, Kyle is definitely being a jerk. He's definitely, I feel like he's overstepping his position. To me, it doesn't matter if, like, I understand him saying the client, I guess, was uncomfortable working with Diane or whatever. However, you still don't go around your CEO and just do whatever because the client says I'm uncomfortable or I would prefer to work with you. I feel like there still needs to be some checks and balances, and you still need to check in with your CEO to make sure that she is okay with how you're handling things, and you just don't go off willy-nilly doing stuff how you want to do it just because your ego won't allow you to go to your mother, who is also the CEO, and make sure that she is okay with what's going on. So I don't know. I feel like the overall problem with Kyle is that he's pissed that his mom is in the position that he wants to be in, and he's making all these other excuses for the behavior that he's portraying right now, or that he's putting on, instead of just saying, I don't like that you're in the CEO position. I wanted that job, and I think I deserve it more than you. And like you guys said, she tried to offer him that position. She tried to say, I don't want this. It should go to Kyle. And he was the one that said, no, you go ahead and take it. And now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's got a problem with it because I don't know, I guess because he doesn't like answering to her because he feels like he's more qualified. And he's being disrespectful. In my opinion, I feel like he's being disrespectful to her.
I have a question. Do you think that he has been, that when he pushed forward, he thought it was the right thing to do, and then she took it, and then he had to start covering for her and saw what a huge mistake it was, and then he got pissed about it?
That's a possibility, but did he sit down and explain to her all the different things that he felt like she was doing that were mistakes, or did he just take it upon himself to do things how he wanted to do it without even having that conversation with her? Because for me, like at work, I'm not going to go behind my commander and correct things that he's doing wrong. I'm going to sit down with him and say, sir, just so you know, there was an error here. This was handled incorrectly. This, you know what I mean? I'm going to sit down and explain to him where he went wrong and work with him to make sure that whatever it was he did, it doesn't happen again, or how he could improve or something like that. I'm not just going to go behind him fixing things, then cop an attitude with him because I feel like he's not living up to his job, and start being disrespectful to him.
Right.
There's a certain way I feel like Kyle could have handled it, and he went about it the wrong way. He just turned into a complete and total jerk and acted like a spoiled brat about it and was very condescending and disrespectful. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't particularly care for Diane.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. He has been very entitled. And I wonder too, though, real quick, do you think that part of this is also because when he's thinking about his family's business, and this wasn't her deal, this was already done, and it was already packaged up, and then she nosed in, and he was just like, oh my God, the guy got in touch with him, this is what's happening, and he's like, no, we were good, we had a deal, and he stuck up for the client. And
that's right.
He stopped counseling her because maybe she didn't listen because she was so prickly about anybody pointing anything out. Because, I mean, to me, my CEO has given me stuff to edit for him, and I've edited it, and I've made that page bleed with edits. And he comes back and says, man, thanks so much, this is better. And we publish it.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Diane did say that about the fact that, well, I didn't want to close it up because I think we could hold out for a better deal. And Kyle was like, no, it was already done.
Yeah, when it's done, it's done.
And she got mad that they went ahead and closed up the package. You know, instead of her holding out. Do I think she was qualified in the first place for it? Nope. That's just my opinion. I mean, as far as I know, if she worked in real estate, that's it.
I don't even think she was qualified for that HR position that Jack put her.
Nope.
I think he made her like the director of HR.
Told her she was the chief talent officer.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't, and Kyle was all for his mom being at that company. He was all for it until he didn't get what he wanted out of it. And then he became anti Diane and throwing all these digs at her about how she's not qualified, about how...
Well, he telling the truth.
Of course he is. The point I'm making, though, is Kyle, when Phyllis and when Summer was saying all the same stuff about Diane, he was defending his mom with his last breath all day long. Yep. She's family. She should be a part of this company. She has a right to be here. And the minute that Kyle didn't get what Kyle wanted, he turned on his mother. Just like he's turned on his father now and running to Victor to go work for his dad's opposition.
So let me ask you this.
He turns into a spoiled brat when things don't go exactly his way.
Okay, hold on.
I don't have any respect for that character.
Okay, so Jay, what did you have?
I was gonna say, because I know Trish had said that they didn't really show Kyle doing some of the things that Diane accused him of, but I was trying to ask y'all, do y'all recall a couple of weeks back where he made that phone call to somebody that she was in negotiation with, and he was like undermining her and telling the guy to only deal with him, and he was taking over from there. So that does like legitimize what some of the complaints that she had against him, right? Like they did show him making that call, and basically,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna say they did show him making that call, and basically just telling that guy, "Hey, deal with me, don't deal with her anymore, don't take her calls." So they was showing him doing that.
I have a question, and I'm going to have to go back and watch exactly how that was phrased, because I thought I heard, no, you don't have to. You don't have to deal with her. You can call me directly. I didn't hear it as, oh God, don't deal with her, just call me. I'm going to have to go back and listen to it because, and I still do agree with you, Keish, that yes, I mean, you don't go around your CEO, you don't go around your commander. What he should have done is he should have talked to Diane in front of Jack and made Jack sit down and listen to the concerns, so that they were all in the room together. And that's where this all screwed up. This all lands at Jack's feet.
Well, here's the other thing. Should she have consulted with Jack before giving him that termination notice?
1,000% yes.
She should have, for sure. But let's not forget that she asked for Jack's help, and Jack said, you guys figure it out on your own.
Figure it out, meaning figure out how to work together, not fire the heir apparent to the corporation.
No, I agree with you. But she asked for Jack's help, and Jack offered nothing. Jack told them to deal. You guys deal with it. You guys figure it out. I'm not saying that she should have moved forward with firing Kyle. Yeah. I do think that she should have talked to Jack ahead of time. But Jack has been checked out.
Yeah, he has.
He has seen that there has been issues between her and Kyle for weeks. He's seen it for himself. She has.
Hey, is that Bree?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Bree.
Okay. Hey, Bree.
Hi.
How's the weather down there?
It's being Florida. But everything's cleared up, thankfully, in my area, so we're good.
Okay, cool. We in the middle of talking about the firing of Kyle and Diane and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like she tried to enlist Jack's help, and Jack, to me, he didn't seem interested. It was basically like, you guys figure it out on your own. But Amaya's right. I just saw her comment. She said Jack backed her up with the firing. So
he did.
Yeah. Well, he got a torpedo aimed right at his forehead right now.
Like always.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on it, Bree? What did you think about this whole thing with Diane firing Jack? Firing Jack.
She should fire him. I agree. But for Kyle, I feel like there's blame on both sides, on everybody's side. Mm-hmm. I feel, and I think it's in the group chat, like if I were to rank the blame, I'll put Kyle at the bottom, Diane in the middle, and Jack is right there at the top. My issue is Jack should be fully aware of what's going on, not to the point to where it puts both the mother and son in this type of position. Plus, she doesn't want the position. She's been trying to give that position up to this boy. And it's Jack who's refusing. It's Jack who's saying, no, I want my wife, who's unqualified, to be in this position. So it made his whole company vulnerable to where their investors or their business partners or whoever doesn't trust anything that's coming out this woman's mouth, that they have to go under her to her subordinate, which is Kyle. Like, you would think that after certain points, like, okay, maybe my wife isn't qualified. Maybe I need to rearrange the leadership within this company. But he's been so far up Nikki's ass this whole time. This is why his whole company is falling into shambles. So much so that it's now vulnerable to Glissade without him knowing.
Yep. I can agree with that. Jack has a lot to do with all of this.
Mm-hmm. He put his family, his wife, his son, he put everybody in his position before Nikki, of all people. And it's her husband that's about to screw him. And that's just truth. And the thing is, I don't feel bad for Kyle for getting fired. He's done some fireable offenses. This isn't one of them. But still, if this was anybody else, if this was Audra, if there's anybody who wasn't Abbott related, they would be fired for not checking in with their CEO or co-CEO or whatever the case is, regarding the business deals that affect the financials of that company. So I think she just treated him no differently than any other employee. But Kyle's always had one foot out the door whenever he doesn't get his way, and that's his own fault. It wasn't just that long ago he had no problem working with Tucker and Audra to take over Jabot or try to get intel regarding Jabot to take it down. So he's not even loyal to this family company that he feels he has a birthright to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that whole company is falling apart. Ashley's in the hospital. Billy is over at Chancellor-Winters, and now Kyle is gone. So that only leaves Diane, and and then she's going to be held accountable next week. So
I'm gonna pass out if Nikki goes over there and starts working, because Victor won't let her won't let her do her Newman media role.
Oh.
Kyle's job and become COO or
Something.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
All these vacant positions today, so maybe she gonna jump into one.
Oh, you know Diane gonna have a fit.
Diana have a fit. Victor will have a fit.
One thing I will say is, Bree, you said that Diane didn't even want the position. She wanted Kyle to have it. She definitely did at one point, but she definitely wants that position now. Diane is in love with that power that she has now, and she don't want to give up that position now.
I don't think it's that. I think she wants to prove to not just her family, but the business that comes into Jadro that she knows what she's talking about. So she has an axe to grind since these men, or not these leaders within this industry, don't want to work with her. So I think she just has an axe to grind to try to prove herself, which I could understand, because they disrespected her too by trying to go up underneath Kyle, which I'm surprised they went to Kyle and not try to reach out to Jack.
They probably did, but they were getting his voicemail. So
But why is she getting so mad about it? Like y'all said, she wasn't even qualified for the position, so she can't get mad if these people don't want to work with her when she wasn't even qualified for these positions in the first place.
But if she doesn't feel that way,
right,
it is going to offend her, because if she feels like she
entitled.
Entitled, has a right, if she feels like she is qualified for the job that she's doing, then of course she's going to be offended that these clients are going around her into her COO instead of, I guess, working with her like they should be. So even if we feel like she's not qualified, if the character herself feels like she's qualified for that job, then she's going to feel a way about that happening.
I can see that. I don't know, the vibe I'm getting from her, like the way she's been acting, I feel like it's about power for her. But I could be wrong. It just feels like there's something to her that's like, I don't know, she just enjoys having this position now, and she's got so used to it, she doesn't want to give it up. I mean, there's going to be a part of her that wants to prove herself anyways, but I don't know, I feel like there's some like power hunger to her too.
I think she's just asking for her position to be respected by her son and by the clients that are supposed to be, I guess, reporting to her. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. If I'm the CEO of this company, then I expect you to treat me as such and not treat me, regardless of what you think I'm qualified to do. You're not going to talk to me like I work for you.
Right. And you my child? No. And I'll say this, J Money, she even tried to give up this position in today's episode. She was like, Jack, do you feel I'm qualified? That should I walk away from this? And he was like, no, I made the right decision putting you in this role, and I'm not changing my mind. So if anything, that holds on Jack. So she's trying to fill the shoes that Jack has presented to her. And I just don't feel that it has anything to do, for me, I don't feel it has anything to do with power. Because if that were the case, she would have made several power moves. She would have hired and fired whoever she wanted. She wouldn't give a damn about what Jack had to say, especially since he wasn't there. And she would definitely have an axe to grind since he's devoting all this time and attention over to Nikki. And she could really run that place to the ground if she wanted to. But she's been trying to communicate with her son, communicate with her husband, and it's just been a loss on both fronts.
See, the thing for me about that part is when she did that, that felt fake to me. That felt like to me like she knew exactly how Jack would respond because she has Jack wrapped around her fingers. So when she did that whole like offering, I'll step down if you feel like that's best for the company, she knew he would do that. He did the simplest thing and automatically said, "No, I think you're doing a great job," and all of that. I think she knew exactly how he would respond when she offered up that. So I felt like that was really fake coming from her.
I agree 100%. And the look on her face was that begging for approval look of,
yeah, like the little puppy dog eyes. And, I just feel like that whole conversation was fake.
Can I really do this? Do you really think, like, really, I can do this? You have faith in me? I thought it was really, really, ew.
I would be surprised you're on good terms, to be honest. That was the most surprising part when Jack came by Jujubel. I thought she was going to raise hell to him, especially since he left her in this position to go hop on a plane for his sister who was already taken care of already.
She can't do that right now because she just alienated her son. She needs Jack right now.
Well, yeah. Jack needs to want to be at Jabot right now.
Mm-hmm. He does.
All right, did y'all get it all out?
Yeah. Curbs the demons, baby. And nobody got hurt.
No.
It's awesome.
All right, Bree, I know you came in a little bit late. Were there any other storylines that you wanted to quickly speak on? The Chancellor-Winters, the Connor storyline, Sharon storyline?
I'll just do like a quick little thing. I'm happy that Mariah knows who her mother is and able to contact and check on her mother and see that there's something off. She makes effort for her mother's health, unlike some people on the show like Abby. I'm surprised that they are putting Audra and Kyle back into that wheelhouse. So I guess whatever the outfit that Claire had on, Kyle said, I can't do this. So he's backed up Audra's tail. And I'm disappointed in Summer for even being remotely jealous. So it's any woman that gets near Kyle, I guess she's going to be jealous of, even though she has that fine looking man all to herself that actually wants her. But oh well, to each his own. What else I was going to say? The Chancellor-Winters thing, Devon is chronic constipation. I think I said that on Wednesday too. Nothing's changed there. I'm surprised. I'm not sure if you guys touched on Billy in the whole Connor thing. I was surprised that he was more than willing to jump on a plane for Chelsea, but not his mother.
Yeah.
Which was very, I don't know if it's self-serving or whatever the case is, but like all these phone calls and video chats to his mother, and he makes this huge, big concern about like, I want to make sure she has her legacy. I want to make sure that she's okay if something were to happen, but you don't want to go and make the effort to go lay eyes on your mother either.
Right.
I thought he said, didn't he tell Chance that Jill said she didn't want anybody coming out there until she figured out exactly what was going on with her or something?
That is not nothing. Huh?
I was gonna say I thought on that first initial video chat he had with her when he was sitting in Lily's office, when she first told him something was wrong, I thought he offered to come out there.
Yeah. He did.
And then, and then she's like, no, you stay there and handle things, and so she turned him down. Because I thought he did offer to come out there and be with her.
He only has one mother, unlike Douglas. He has one mother. He should be checking on it, especially if it's a heart issue. He's more concerned about changing the title of this company versus laying eyes on his mother, because anything could happen. So, but he would rush and jump out to go be with Chelsea, and he has nothing to do with that scenario whatsoever. That was my only thing with that. But I was able to listen a little bit here and there while the storm is going on, so I think we're good.
Okay. So you got it all out, Bree?
Yeah, and sorry, Audra is a raggedy heifer. I cannot stand her. Just the fact that she forever. What is with this heifer? She feels she won up on Tucker. Oh, he's weak. He's nothing now that I got one over on him. This man got cash.
Exactly. He got paid, man.
Right.
He's not hurting. He's not thinking of you because he hasn't made his way to Genoa City. You are just damaged goods. You are spoiled goods. You are a used, soiled up mattress. And I guess Kyle wants to go right back on for his turn on that mattress. But anyway, that's all.
Well, Nate will be there first next week, so.
Finally.
Yuck.
Yeah, you better go get. Wait a minute, Bree.
You know how you feel about Nate and Audra, so it's about time we got that.
Yeah. Let's.
Only the third guy Audra will have been with since she's been on the show.
In the same hotel room on this.
You know Bree is biased when it comes to
Right.
If he wants to go down that road and there's no other active bodies within Genoa City, then that's on him.
It's a very short road, Bree.
Nate is a little whore himself by the standards that you set for Audra.
They got more bodies than Audra do.
He's not sleeping with a woman simultaneously in the same hotel room. The smell is in the air, and she.
Oh my gosh.
That's what. Okay, well, that's why they're friends. That's exactly why they're friends.
Y'all crazy.
But I guess good for them. I mean, I guess there's no other mattress for them to go to, so make sure they get that blood plate. Don't run in. Well, no, let me not say that.
Anyway. What day is that? That is Wednesday. Romance is in the air as sparks. Well, that's what they call it. Romance is in the air as sparks fly between Nate and Audra. Hint: a new love story unfolding. Okay, whatever.
I'm sure Vinny's gonna call it romance.
I'm excited that they're finally giving us Nate and Audra.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, we need something on this show.
I was gonna say, give us something.
All right, y'all ready?
Y'all got it.
We thought it was hot when Nate lifted up Victoria. You know it's gonna be hot when he lifted up Audra.
Yeah.
The
beautiful people.
We might get some wall action. We're gonna get some good action with Nate and Audra.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Sorry for him. Feel sorry for him because you don't know what he's going to run himself into. It might be Kyle. Anyway.
Oh goodness.
Look, hey, that's his choice. People make their life decisions and they have to live to regret them. But we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Doris said Audra has always wanted Nate, and that is correct.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for bringing that up. She went so as far as to put insecurities in a whole other woman while she's in an active relationship to help break up them, and then she got mad and upset that he went with Victoria, and then she was bed hopping between Ashley's husband and Ashley's nephew, and was back on the whole merry-go-round, back and forth with the smell in the room. But if that's what Nate wants, Nate gets it on Wednesday.
And it's gonna be hot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, what Jay said. Jay said we'll get some wall action.
I think we're gonna get some wall action.
And I think it's gonna be her pushing him.
Oh my God! Let's get the bold. All right. But before we do, how many people do we have in the chat? Can you see, Bree?
We have almost 140 people.
Nice. Okay. All right. So if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. How many likes we got, Jay? You usually keep up with the likes.
Let me see. I don't know if it'll take me away from this.
Oh, okay. I don't want you to get knocked out.
Oh, and Amaya Baker, no, I don't know. This is just, it's the fact that this character annoys me. She asked me about if it was personal with Audra. Like, no, I don't care about any of these characters like that. It's just the fact that she felt very entitled, and it's kind of the way she treated Tucker. I'm like, I'm just over this girl.
It's at 53 likes me.
Okay, all right. So we got 140 and we at 53. Come on, you got 57. Come on, hit the like button. Let's see if we can get it up to 100. 100 likes.
100 tonight, y'all.
Let's see if we can get up to 100 likes, and therefore it'll trigger the algorithm so we can get these lives out. What were you about to say, Bree?
Just at 61.
Please, let's get to a little over 100. Let's enjoy, because we're really about to go in on bold here.
Yeah, you about to go in on bold.
I love it.
Alrighty. Also, just to let you know, besides YouTube, we are also on Instagram, TikTok. We have a Facebook group, also on Threads, and Medium is where the blog is. So if you just type in Soap Corner Talk on those platforms, including X, I forgot about X, you should be able to find content from this particular platform. So just wanted to put that out there. As I mentioned earlier in the chat, I'm doing a lot more standalone videos, kind of give it separate content outside of the spoilers and the lives and the the recaps and everything. Kind of narrowing and zeroing in on certain things that connect the dots from past history to current storylines, and then of course current spoilers and the direction that they're going into. So stay tuned for all of that. I will possibly be changing the intro again, especially since we've also added another primetime soap. Bree and I actually did the live recap of that on Wednesday night for Sisters, which is a show on BET. Thank you for you guys that were absolutely able to support that live on Wednesday night. And if you want to check it out, the show comes on once a week, every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central, 9 p.m. 8 a.m. Lord, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then we go live right after. And we're on for about what was about an hour? I think almost an hour, Bree.
I think almost an hour, and it was a great turnout with some of the people who for our B&B chats and Y&R chats. We really appreciate you guys. You guys said you didn't watch the show, but you guys enjoyed the commentary, which we really appreciate.
Yes, and Bree went in. She's very creative when it comes to her descriptions. Well, on that particular live, yeah, it was late night, so Bree went in. Oh man, so we now have to move on to bold because we got to talk about Theris. We got to talk about Sloppy Toppy. And yeah, I think we only had like two storylines this week. So this Thomas and Paris situation, and then this whole thing with Tom and Poppy. All right, you know what? Let's dive into Tom and Poppy first. So, yeah, she said, "Ew." Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, I know especially Bree and Jay, they have been on it in regards to Bill not being the father. So Bree thinks Bill is not the father. It could be anybody. And Jay is thinking absolutely that Tom is the father of Luna. Now, obviously, Tom think he is the father of Luna, as we saw in the Friday cliffhanger. But this thing is a whole mess. What y'all got to say about it? Who want to go first?
You can go, Brittany.
Why me? Okay. I'm so happy for the storyline. This is like the gift that keeps on giving each week. Since I seen Tom, I'm like, this is shaking up a lot of things. I was not expecting this from Tom. But for him to sit here and say that, well, we'll back up. He had groupies, which I was surprised. But at the same time, Willie Nelson has groupies too. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what type of music was he playing? But just the fact that he has stand 10 toes down when it comes to Poppy, when he said that is my child, I am Luna's father, he is really shaking up Poppy in the best sort of way. And I'm like, Lee, this is proving Lee right this whole time. I cannot wait for this woman to take a victory lap, because this woman was trash for telling the truth about her sister. And I'm like, she's more concerned with securing the bag, as the kids would say, for her daughter and herself primarily. So regardless of who's the father, she just happened to luck out that it was Bill. Once again, it's probably faulty pregnancy test, but here's this man coming along saying he wants to be the father to, or he knows that he's a father to Luna. Wouldn't it be more of a concern to confirm and verify for her daughter's sake? But she would rather, cover up her own ass and go about her business and then tell Tom off. And I'm like, this man is a homeless man. Why would you do that? What are you so threatened by? Plus, your daughter's grown, so it's not like she can ask for child support. She just wanted to know who her father is. Poppy just wants to secure a rich man, like her sister has always said.
Who's next?
So, I have a quick question. So I get exactly where you're coming from, and I know why you're thinking the way that you're thinking. I see it, and I wonder, like, what was she really as horrible as her sister said? Because she didn't say, Bill, this is your kid. She didn't go to Bill Spencer all those years ago and say, this is your kid. You're going to pay me child support. I know it's your kid. She even said up until the test, we're going to see if he's the father. So she never outright said, you're the father. Everybody knew she slept around. Everybody knew she was a free love and all the, probably the drugs and everything else that went on with going to the festivals and dancing half naked in the fields at Woodstock, but that was before her time. But you know what I'm saying? So there's all this free love stuff going on. I don't necessarily think that free love makes you trash. I just think it means that you're free with love. And what happened with her sister, I mean, if she didn't do anything with Jack, her sister may have almost lost her job, but I don't honestly know how a hospital could fire a doctor due to a relative who works there too having an affair with the surgeon. Like, I don't know how that's even possible or legal. So I don't know where that's coming from. But I'm just questioning, is she really trash just because she had sex with a bunch of people when she was younger and she didn't know who her kid's father was? And then the test wasn't even the test she brought. It was Lee's test. She didn't, and Lee can't stand her. So she would know Lee was coming with the test. So that if it was an accidental test, that's still not Poppy's fault.
I'll give you that first. I think it's just weird writing regarding that box DNA test. But my issue with Poppy is the fact that she kept lying to her daughter. Well, not even lying. Yeah, she's lying to her daughter about Bill.
Yeah, omission is a lie.
And it's just the fact that she, for one, said that her daughter didn't deserve to know, or she didn't think it was worth for her finding out, even though she saw her daughter in tears saying, I want to confirm this. And she said she's been asking since she's a little girl. And regardless of how many men she slept with, she needed it to ensure that for her daughter. Because what happens if Poppy were to lose her life? Her daughter had no one else to go to. But if she even had like a inkling of who that father could be, that was Poppy's responsibility. But she chose to be selfish for whatever, if it's embarrassment or whatever the case is. That has nothing to do with her daughter wanting to know who her father is.
I honestly think that she didn't know. She didn't know. It could have been Bill. It could have been Tom. It could have been anybody. She was shocked when that test that Lee did that it was Bill. I don't think she knew. I don't know if maybe she was keeping it from her or whatever, but to tell you that your daughter, I don't know who your father is. Because I was, as Trish was saying, indulging in free love and all that stuff. So I don't know who your daddy is. I think it would have been more embarrassment unless maybe she would have. Maybe she should have told her daughter. I really don't know. I don't think she knew.
And well, that's where if she's able to pinpoint, especially with the name Bill Spencer, she could have easily, once again, for her daughter's sake, she's been more concerned about how Bill's going to look at her as a gold digger versus confirming the father for her child. She knew that name. She knew she slept with that man. This could have been eliminated. And that's what Luna kept on drilling down to her mother, is like, why did you wait this long? Like, this is a well-known man. Like, obviously, I would have been well taken care of. I don't think he would have judged you in that case. I mean, she wanted to know, and it was that mother's job to find out.
So did she actually know Bill Spencer was Bill Spencer?
He was Bill Spencer Jr.
But I mean, when you're having free love at a concert, do you get last names?
Exactly.
Because this was a one night stand.
It was a one night stand, and I said they probably didn't even exchange.
And if you're on
names,
But she also painted a narrative that she never sought after Bill because she didn't want to be labeled as a gold digger. So she knew this man had money, and she knew that name, and she just chose not to go after that direction.
You can kind of tell if someone has money by
yes.
watch.
I was just about to say that. She could have probably been able to tell that he had money just by how he was dressed. What jewelry he had on, what clothes he had on. You can tell if someone has money just by how they're presented.
The dude gets manicures.
Wait a minute, and then that Jenna says, I think she chose to raise her daughter and take care of herself and didn't think that she needed to tell anyone anything. She was talking about that whole, remember she said, I didn't think I need a man and we got Nozawa power and it's always been me and you against the world. But her daughter was entitled to know who her biological father is. I just don't think Poppy knew who it was.
I don't think so.
And she needed to say that to her daughter versus saying that she didn't deserve to know and then pretending that she didn't know Bill and then she knew Bill and that she's painting a whole narrative like, oh, you were the love of my life, Bill.
Yeah, you gotta take now that part of it. You're gonna have to take. Yeah, that part right there from February, you gotta take that up with Belle because that whole thing was. I hate that they did that, and I think I heard I think that might have been Keish. It would have been stupid to do this now because Bill was deemed not the father back earlier this year. So you had, isn't that what you said, Keish? It was something like that in the group chat.
It was basically so she's being painted as a gold digger, but when Bill first ran into her again, she basically played him to the side like she couldn't be bothered with him. Bill was the one. He was already infatuated with her. He was into her. They started dating, and this was all with him thinking that was after she told him that he was not Luna's father. So she already had the man.
Right.
So coming back around to Bill again, and then having her lie about him being Luna's dad, it makes no sense because what additional thing is she gaining? She got to move into the mansion, yes, but I mean, he was already talking about taking her out on his yacht, taking her on trips. She probably could have gotten anything that she wanted from Bill
without the paternity thing.
Yeah, so the way that they constructed this whole paternity thing is just
stupid.
It doesn't make any sense now.
Nope.
It's a floppy disk from the late 80s.
They should have just left it alone. They would have did better by making it one of the Finnegan men.
I don't think it's time. I think something else is going to come out, and I am sticking to the belief that it's Jack.
Yeah.
Well, let me take this time to pat myself on the back because
Well, don't start patting just yet, sir.
I know for sure that
let me just, let me just say, because I knew this wasn't gonna be an Uncle Tom. I knew it was Daddy Tom. I called it. I feel like they're gonna go this route. I know some of y'all don't think he's gonna be the father, but I feel like Tom is this girl's father. From that initial look, when he first saw Poppy, I said these two had a pass. I knew it. I think this man is Luna's father. And I think one of the reasons, maybe we'll find out, because he used to be a singer of some sort. Maybe Poppy, maybe Poppy even told this man he was Luna's father, and maybe she took him for everything he was worth at the time. Maybe that's how he ended up homeless, and so maybe that's how she was able to survive with Luna. She was living off of whatever she got out of Tom. Then she saw the opportunity to step up her and Luna's lives with Bill when she reconnected with him. So maybe this Lee accusation of her being a gold digger, maybe that's going to turn out to be true, because we all said this when she saw that Stella Mars, it looked like something was activated, like something changed, even though she already knew he was rich. It was something about her seeing that yacht that she kind of took a twist, almost like, you know what? This life, I can give this life to my daughter. And y'all said, what can she gain? Maybe she's looking more so to help Luna gain. Like you saw what he offered today, the opportunity to adopt her. That's going to put Luna in a position of, even more wealth, that she's legally connected to this man. So maybe those are things that she was planning on. Maybe she felt like she knew Bill would make that move, get her daughter officially listed as a Spencer, and have access to this man's, his lifestyle, his money. We might get savings accounts now for her. Maybe she's looking long game to get Luna set up, financially. So it could be a few things.
She's getting an Audi fully loaded. She's getting a black car.
She's loving this lifestyle. Yeah.
She's all in.
Hey, KH, is that true? Is he coming back?
I don't see anything in the spoilers about that. It's possible, but I don't see anything for the week of July 1st through 5th.
Okay. But here's the thing with that. She could have secured all of that and addressed those questions prior to him talking about his yacht, because both Bill and Luna asked her straight out, is he the father? She flat out said no. And then when she saw that yacht, all of a sudden now he's a possibility.
Yeah, and Lee brought her little box in there, and it came up positive. So I mean, I guess we'll have to see, because there is a death next week, and more than likely, in my opinion, it's probably gonna be Tom, because this is supposed to be a summer mystery. So, and that's probably gonna throw Sheila in the middle of this too. Yep. So I didn't figure Clint Howard was going to be on there long term. So.
I mean, are you officially thinking it's going to be him, T? Or?
I mean, it couldn't. Who else is it going to be? Liam ain't go. Hold on. Liam ain't going anywhere. Bill, Poppy, Lee, Finn, Steffy, Eric, all them, Thomas and Hope, and Paris just got there.
No.
Yes, Bree. That's what I was thinking.
Not Hollis. He's so beautiful.
I think it's gonna be Tom.
Yeah.
What if the intent is on? What if the intent is on Tom?
They are not about to put that man on contract.
Well, they wouldn't have to do that, but it would be a little too soon to end his story. You know what I mean? What if the intent?
Wait. No. His story was supposed to end a few weeks back after Sheila came back, but they extended it. They extended it for this particular storyline. And the other thing is, after the death is on Tuesday, I think, and there's nothing else mentioned about Tom after that. And then Poppy goes into this whole competition with Katie on the end of the week.
I just think that's wild to have. I mean, I can see it happening because he made this announcement, and I can see her wanting to get him up out of there. But at the same time, Why would you end it when it's just getting juicy like this?
Because I figured that something was going to happen because of the whole interaction between Sheila and Tom, with him freaking out and oh my god, the knife and all that old type of stuff. And I'm like, and then now they cool with each other, helping him play. And I'm like, okay, what did you do that for? So now, if something happens to him, what is that gonna mean with Finn? Is he gonna now think like, oh my god, I thought you changed, this is you, and Sheila gonna be begging and pleading, and people ain't gonna believe her because of her history. So they said this is supposed to be a whole, this one incident is gonna create a whole mystery for this summer.
Can I throw a scenario at y'all real quick?
Sure.
Hear me out here. Remember, they made a point to bring up Tom's drink, that blue stuff he was drinking. He made the whole announcement that he doesn't drink liquor anymore and all that stuff. I'm wondering, because Bree took the words right out of my mouth when she said Hollis. When you wrote in the chat earlier that somebody was getting unalived, I was wondering, could it potentially be Hollis? And how they could do that is, what if let's assume we think it's Poppy that's going to do it. What if she goes to put something in, like what she thought was Tom's drink? Hollis maybe drinks it by accident. He gets up. Like, I'm thinking, what if there's an attempt on Tom, but it doesn't get, you know what I mean? It goes wrong and it's somebody else. And you don't get rid of Tom right away.
Okay, Jay. So what about adding on to that? So what if it's the what is that roofie drug that people use?
No.
Drug. What if it's that and it's an accidental unaliving?
Were you talking about like one of the mints that she carries?
But maybe a stronger maybe a more potent version of maybe, if she was able to get her hand on those regular mints, maybe she's able to get her hands on something that's stronger. And Hollis would be an accidental, right? Because if her attempt is really on Tom, but it's Hollis that drinks it, that would be the accidental, right? And then she probably panics and then realizes she has to lay low and she can't make another attempt on Tom, at least not right now. And then, they still would have to discover how Hollis got unalived. So that's what I'm thinking, that maybe it's not going to be Tom right away. Maybe it'll be an accidental to somebody else, but Tom was the intended target, and then that still keeps him around, because I feel like this story is too big for him to make that announcement and then just for us to see him gone.
What you talking about, Bowl and their writers? So oh my goodness, they've been doing all types of craziness this past year and a half, so who knows? They would do something like that.
Hey, we had a feeling it wasn't really Sheila that was gone, and we were right about that. So,
I mean, we all knew that woman wasn't dead. I think that was unanimous across the board with every viewer that watched, that Sheila wasn't dead, because the CBS doesn't know how to kill that character off.
Sheila is Michael Myers. You can't give it her.
Exactly.
Well, I'm curious to find out what that is, this mystery, because I like a good mystery. We'll probably know what happened, but again, they're going to have probably the characters. If it happens, what happened? Who came in?
We came back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I honestly, in my opinion, I think it can be Tom, but anything is possible. And if it happens at Il Giardino, they're definitely going to point the finger at Sheila.
And it's her own fault.
Yeah. As many things that have happened at that restaurant, it's amazing that they don't just have like a hazmat unit next door waiting for the next the next issue.
Thank you, Trish, because I'm like, everyone chooses to still eat there.
Right.
Like, there's no other restaurants. No one does takeout. Nothing. They just have to go to El Giardino where all this stuff goes down. And I'm sorry, Jay.
I was just gonna say, apparently those toe appetizers are hitting. They said that they're a hit.
Which is
the toe.
The toe appetizers, yeah.
Oh, that's so nasty. But
Yeah.
Y'all know how I feel about feet. Don't even get me started again.
Oh Lord.
I agree with you, Jay. That's why I was trying. I wasn't able to say anything just a second. I agree with you, Jay. I think it could be Hollis, or I'm not. I was actually thinking someone that's off screen, because they could easily write a mystery in regards to that and create new storylines for the other main cast. But I'm thinking it's going to be Hollis because Tom was already suspicious of Sheila. And I think if they're going to create a mystery, I think Tom would be the one looking into Sheila's actions and Sheila's motives. And, Sheila can call on her favorite lawyer, which is Jack. And, that can also create some messiness down the road, too. So I'm hoping that it's Hollis. Not the actor, I'm sorry, actor, but just the character.
His name is Hollis in real life, too, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh, crap.
Somebody posted a photo of him next to Hope, and man, alive, they would actually.
Yeah, I thought about that, Trish. They should try to put a little something together, but with Hope and Hollis, the double H.
What would that be, Hopus?
Huh?
What would that be, Hopus?
Hopus. It'll be Hollis. It'll be just Hollis. HOLLIS.
You gotta incorporate Hope in it more than that. So it would have to be Hopus.
Oh no, well, they just look good together. I don't know if, but would Hope date him?
I don't think she would.
No, he doesn't have the deep pockets.
Well, she dated Wyatt, and she saw him randomly naked in the woods. So
that is true.
He didn't know he was a Spencer. He didn't know.
That's funny. So yeah, Maya put Hopless, HOPLIS.
Hopless.
Hopeless. Hopeless?
Yeah.
Hopeless.
I still think H squared.
To go from a designer to potentially a doctor to potentially what is he?
He's a waiter, I think. I don't know.
A waiter that dated her mom.
Y'all all know that he might work at Il Giardino, but he is an actor looking for jobs on the show as a waiter.
Oh.
So yeah, they're in LA. That makes perfect sense.
Right.
I'm looking at the name Hopless. That sounds like a disease I can't get rid of.
It actually is hopeless. HOPLIS is hopeless.
Well, that's the story of her life.
Exactly.
But just the spelling of it looks like a disease you can't get rid of.
Oh,
she has
Lord.
Hopless.
This is brain
Oh, what is going on, Ron?
He's not going to be a happy man.
Especially the way she was dancing at the whatchamacallit.
Is that girl having a seizure?
Oh Lord.
Y'all, can I just say about that dance? Because I'm living in that skin. I was just going to say, we think we look good. They're like, we think we know we're having fun, but we do think we look good, but we know we don't. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's having a good time.
It's a good time. Yeah. Absolutely.
Trish, it's like those IG reels where it shows what they think they look like, and then what they really look like.
Yes, Jay, buddy. Yes. But we're going to focus on the pretend version because it's funner for us.
Y'all funny. All right. We have to go to there. I guess we can either split it in half, deal with the coming back of Thomas, or the argument between. Well, I guess it's because you got the conversation with Ridge and Thomas. You got the conversation between argument between Steffy and Hope, and yeah. So how y'all want to break that down?
And there's a conversation with Thomas and Hope too.
Yep, that was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start there because it technically spreads off into those other two conversations. Because when they originally came back, Douglas ran in there and she was happy to see him and look up and there's Thomas. Hi, Hope. She thought that man was coming there for her. And she got a rude awakening like Audra did. And it was Paris coming in there as his fiancé.
Yeah.
Wait, who? Go ahead, Keish.
Thomas was being messy. There was a better way for him to break that news to her than bringing Paris with him to Forster where she was going to be at. That should have been I understand him wanting to wait to tell her in person, kind of. But I don't know. I feel like Thomas has handled this whole thing wrong. Especially considering Douglas is such a big part, obviously, of their relationship because he's calling Paris mom. So should Hope not have been informed of that before now? You know what I'm saying? Like, her son is calling another woman mom now, and she's just now finding out after the fact that Douglas and Paris have built this mother-son kind of relationship, apparently, because Douglas is referring to her as mom, which is odd to me. It's very weird to me. I also thought it was weird when he started calling Hope mommy back in 2019 after a couple months. But I don't know. I think Thomas has done a horrible job with the way that he's handled this whole thing, and we know this relationship ain't lasting. So I gotta give Thomas some smoke on this one.
Trish.
I agree. I think it's pretty messy. I do, and I know Steffi's part's coming up, but I do agree that it was nobody else's business to tell but Thomas's business to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when people say other people's news. I think that is so disrespectful and disingenuous. So it was definitely Thomas's news to tell. The way he chose to do it, you know, you can say you want to do it in person, but that's really, to me, a cop-out. You can get on Teams or Zoom and you can go, hey, listen, man, we need to talk.
Yeah.
We have a son together. I have reconnected with who used to be a friend, and we've developed something, and this is what's going on, and I just wanted to let you know we're coming home, but I wanted to let you know we're coming home together as a couple, as an engaged couple, and I wanted you to hear that from me before I told my family. And that's how you handle that situation. I mean, to even have Douglas or Paris at the office with you, I agree, Keish. That was so wrong on every front. And the conversation between him and Hope was, I gotta tell you, man, yes, Hope was playing the victim, but I kind of got sick to my stomach for her.
Okay. Jay?
Yeah, he definitely could have handled that better, and it's definitely way too soon for that boy to be calling Paris mom. Maybe I'm wrong, but I never thought you called it the fiancé mom. Don't you have to actually go through with the wedding before you officially start doing that? But
Hope wasn't officially his mom before he started calling her that.
No.
True.
You know what? They are setting this boy up to when he becomes an adult character, when they age him, he is going to be, Douglas is going to absolutely be dating older women. This has got money. I'm letting you know. That's how I see it set up. I may be no longer on this earth, depending on how soon they decide to age this kid. I might not see it come to fruition, but that's my prediction.
And I brought this up in the chat, and I hope this doesn't happen, but I don't know. Part of me is wondering if this whole thing is a setup or a plan by Thomas, and Paris is a part of it, because the whole thing seems so contrived. Like, You know what I mean? It's almost like he scripted it out. Like he said, okay, now Douglas, when you come in there,
Right.
when Paris comes in, you call her mommy. Now Paris, you put your hand on his shoulder and make sure she sees the ring. Make sure she looks at it. Like it was just too contrived. She comes in, she puts her hand on her shoulder to show the Rock, and then he announces, "Oh yeah, we're engaged." Like it just seemed too like contrived and too set up. And then all of this happens within 2 months. I don't know. It just feels like old Thomas again. And I hate to say that because Thomas is my favorite character on the show, and I don't want to see him regress like that. But it just has the feels of another Thomas set up to get what he wants.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna go back to using Douglas to.
But the show loves doing that, Keish.
Okay, hold on. We gotta give. Where's Bree? Bree, did you get yours in?
I know, not yet. I'll say this. I don't think that they're regressing Thomas. They put a lot of work with his redemption to where everybody is happy with him and on board. This man, what I can say clear as day, is still in love with Hope. I think he is fully committed to trying to find anybody that will marry him and have kids with him and help him move past this woman. But he dedicated all this time to explain and hear her cry, her crocodile tears, and this, and this. And I get that he wants to try to break the news to her in the best way possible. There's really no best way to do that if he has said that he's moved on, but the time that he's given him, and actually the time that when he was speaking to the rest of his family, he was talking about Hope. He touched on his fiance for a little bit, but even in those discussions, he was trying to say, I'm trying to get over Hope. I'm trying to move past this woman. And he's saying that I still love her. I'll always love her. It took him, maybe one time where he said, yeah, I love Paris. But it didn't even seem convincing.
Mm-hmm.
And this was me.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking at this picture right now on the screen. It looked like a whole father and daughter right here. I couldn't take this seriously. She looked like a whole little girl. Now, granted, I know I saw the comments. Yes, I'm glad the hair is better. I was one of those people was like, girl. But she looks very beautiful here. It just looks like it was father and daughter. And even when, like Trish said, when they kissed, it was just like,
yeah.
I could not jump on board with it, especially since it didn't even seem like Steffy really wasn't on board with it, except for it was any woman outside of Hope. Mm-hmm. And Ridge was even questioning him, like, I don't take this seriously. And it just doesn't seem like, I can't even really call it a rebound. He's just doing anything to cope with Hope not wanting to marry him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's my turn.
Go T.
I'm okay with it. I think he should have told her face to face. He brought his fiance with him. Fine. Could have been over Zoom chat or anything, sure, but then we wouldn't have had Monday and Tuesday's episode. And the other thing is, she can cry all the crocodile tears she won't, call him a rebound. This is too fast because you put your attention on somebody else's husband just as quick in the last 3 months. So Hope can miss me with that one. I mean, yeah, this is an interesting scenario on, Hope feeling like I should have known. Nobody told me. You choose her. What that supposed to mean, Paris? I mean, Hope. What do you mean? What do you mean choose her? Okay. Do I think this is a rebound? And for those, like I said, I did a whole standalone video of that earlier today, talking about Thomas and Paris's history over the past 3 years. And she was the one that had picked him up after he got kicked out when the family disowned him. And at that point, she was interested in him, but he was focused. And the year before that, it was a situation where he put his whole heart and sleeves on the table, and she rejected him at the time when she was with Zende. So obviously there has been interest and attraction there. Of course, Hope was with Liam at the during those time periods, and we had Thope last year, and then now Hope rejected him twice. And then, of course, we saw him saying, I can't do this no more with you. And here's the thing. If somebody want a commitment and the other person don't, I don't care how much you might feel for that person, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And do I think he can still have love for somebody? Absolutely. Absolutely. But just because you have love for that person, that does not mean it is going to work. And he's looking for somebody who is going to be on the same page as him, who wants kids, who wants to get married, who wants to start a family. And like he told his dad, that was Paris. And I don't blame him to go for that. I don't think this is a manipulative scheme. I honestly believe that this man's intent is to find someone, which of course now is Paris, who he knows, who he has had interest in before, and decide to revisit it. And now, they're back in town. Obviously, that brings Diamond White and J Matt back, which is great for the summer. And, we'll see where it go. I'm going to ride with it until it ends, because I want to just I want to see the hot scenes. Right now, we've gotten the separate conversations. We got that one kiss, and he did tell Ridge that he loves her. But I want to see them away from everybody else, maybe in a room, in the setting. How are they, I want to see that part. And maybe we'll get more of that in the next coming week or so. So I'm here for it. I'm just going to follow the storyline.
I wonder where they're going to have them live.
At his house.
At his house.
That's right, he does have a house.
Yeah. The house.
Oh, thank you, man, y'all. I totally forgot about that house.
Where the awakening happened, Trish? Where the awakening happened?
Dang, that's right. I completely forgot about Bert going up his stairs. That's right. Thank y'all so much. See, I told y'all I cannot remember anything anymore.
So I agree with you, T, and where I don't believe that what Thomas is doing is some type of malicious manipulation, like what he was doing with Zoe. I think he truly intends on marrying Paris because he doesn't feel like Hope can commit to him or wants to be married and wants to expand their family. I think he fully intends on marrying her. I don't think he's using her in any way. I don't think he's using her to try to get Hope to change her mind about marrying him. The only criticism I have of him, I've had of what he's done so far was how he handled Douglas in this whole thing.
That situation is weird. I mean, for him to come in there and call that girl mom in front of Hope, that was weird to me. That's the only thing that don't sit well with me. But everything else, nah. After she been trying to get up under Finn and having breathless fantasies about that man, and Brooke had to shake her out of it because they're kindred spirits. Girl, no. Now, what about we kind of touched a little bit on the conversation with Ridge and Tom. I know, and Thomas. We got two Toms. Thomas. Ridge is like, are you sure? And what did Hope say? And, what do you think that he believes him, or he's just trying to make sure he's sure?
He doesn't believe Thomas is completely over Hope, and he would be the main one to know, given that he's been bouncing around between woman to woman for 30-something years. So he knows what a divided heart looks like. And he's trying to call it out with his son. I think that he believes his son is trying his damnedest to try to move past Hope. I don't think, regardless of who the woman is, he knows he's trying to move past her, but he's struggling, and I think maybe that's why this engagement is forced.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, you said the engagement is forced?
I feel like the rush of this, it feels very forced. Like, why are you moving this fast? And he keeps reiterating that he's trying to move on, he's trying to move forward, he's trying to put her past him, and that's where it comes off very forced. Like, why are you trying so hard versus kind of enjoying the process and dating this amazing woman that he keeps talking about?
Because he said that he getting old. You know, I'm getting old. Shoot, I ain't got time to be playing around with this. I want a family.
2 months?
What'd you say?
Well, after 2 months, though? Like,
You mean,
I don't know. It just seems weird.
Right, and on top of that,
listen, when I dated, I dated and married my husband in 6 months, and we were married for 15 years.
My parents met on a blind date during World War II.
It happens.
14 days in person, moved back and forth when he was a BOW, got married, had 10 kids, and I can't even remember how many grandkids they have.
I mean,
it happens.
It happens.
Well, things were different back then. And
wait, what are you talking about back then? We ain't 150 years old.
The World War II thing. The World War II thing.
It was the World War II romance, right?
Yeah, that was a little bit more common back then. And then 6 months is more than 2 months. Like, okay, 6 months is a little bit more believable.
Hey, wait, hold on. Jay, it's July. That would mean that I met him on New Year's Eve, and now the end, what is it, June 28th? No, 6 months. June 1st, we would have got married. That's still in what would be some people consider quick.
But
yes, but 6 months is still more than the 2. You know what I mean? Like,
it was 3.
half a year.
It was 3 months.
3?
Yes, June. He left March 28th.
But you guys didn't have lingering feelings for another person before you guys committed to each other. Thomas still is in love with Hope. And if I was Paris, I would not feel comfortable committing my life to this man, and he has his heart out for another woman still.
Mm-hmm.
So what is he supposed to do? Because the thing is that he's probably, I've heard people say, I always have love for a certain person, but they move on. I mean, Dope was hot last year, the intensity of it all. But this is also the same couple that did not go on dates. All they did was screw. We love to watch it, and that's it. They didn't date either. All they did was screw each other in the office, at his house, and everywhere else. And she was busy crying about, well, my marriage, I'm just still trying to get over my divorce. Girl, no.
But at the same time, they both chose to be in that situation.
Well, he's now choosing not to.
and that's why I feel so bad for Paris, because this is where people are like looking at it as like, okay, he's using her to move on past Hope because of how fast it is. It's obvious this man has feelings for her. If she's a smart girl, I would, if it was me, I'm not going to, for one, accept that ugly ring that he gave her and be ready to commit my life and play stepmommy to his son if he still has feelings for the woman who's legally his mother. Douglas's mother. Like, that's because it'll be putting her in the same position Carter put her in before we didn't see her on screen for a while.
Well, sounds like her loss.
I'm still not convinced that Paris is in on this, and I don't know if she's getting a payday or if he promised her something for her career. Part of me is feeling like she's in on it, and that's why I think it's going to be different from the Zoe thing, because he was using Zoe, but I think Paris is actually going to be in on this with him, and she's benefiting from it. And I feel like she's probably saying, if I'm not going to get used again like Carter did me, I'm going to get something out of this.
Hey, Paris is not going to use Douglas.
No, and then the other thing is that Paris is going to confront Hope next week, so stay away from my man. So
I have a question, because there's 165 people. Wow. I'm I'm looking at the mixture of comments. Is there anybody who is excited for Thomas and Paris at all?
Okay,
No.
so hold on a second. If you want to do, if you're interested in Theris, Thomas and Paris, drop a 1 in the chat and drop a 2 if it's a no. So we'll see what'll be coming up. Now I know Jenna said that ring ain't ugly, Bree.
That was an ugly. That I'm sorry. In comparison to the other rings that.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Jay. Don't put triple 2s up in the comment section.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, go ahead, Bree.
I was gonna say like that in comparison to all the other rings that he's given Hope, that and the fact that he got Paris that ugly ring, there was no thought into it, nothing at all. It's it is not my particular
I don't
style.
think he picked that. I think she did. Because of her style. She has a very eclectic type style. So if he was the one to take her ring shopping, I think she was the one that picked that ring.
That shows me that he didn't love her.
Because he said when he was talking to Rick, he said when he pulled out the ring to propose to her, she was excited about it. I mean, I guess that doesn't mean that they didn't.
Right, because some guys will be like, let me know what type of style you like. What do you like in a ring? And then they go and try to find it.
Yeah.
That thing was huge. If it was real diamonds, you talking about a good 4-5 cats.
That boy told her, pick out the ring you think is going to make Hope the most jealous.
And well, I will say, okay,
2019 Thomas Archie.
Would y'all have a problem if he picked out a ring similar to Hope and gave it to Paris? That would be a whole problem.
I mean, it's better than recycling the ring that he gave to Hope.
Right, so that's why he has, right, she got something that's different and that's her own.
Okay, I'm glad she's the only one who has to wear that.
Listen, let somebody give me that, and it's worth about $10, $12, maybe $20,000. I'll wear it, too. Why not?
Jenna said he designed the ring. Did he say that?
Did he say that, Jenna?
Designer now?
I guess so.
Jenna said he did. What did I miss that? He designed the ring. She put it in caps too.
Bree, what you tell him to stick to his day job, design clothes? Because you said that real quickly.
I guess so.
She said Paris said Thomas designed it for her.
Oh.
It said one thing about Thomas, he know how to put a ring on it. Those were some rocks. Paris said Thomas designed the ring.
Okay, she has to wear it. Good for her. It's a mix in the comment section, but I see a lot of 2s. I would say like 52-48%. But I mean, like I would just like to. I'm curious to see what their interactions are going to be. I saw your standalone video, T, but in the scenes that we saw this week, she looked like it was like father and daughter. Like, I'm glad we didn't get the commando boots. I'm glad that the hair is better. I'm glad at all of that. And it seems like he's also kind of matured her a little bit, but I don't see any heat, no spice, no chemistry, and that's just me, guys. I just don't see it at all. It's just not sexy. Even when they kiss, it's just so like, ew, like, why are you doing that? But maybe next week we'll see something different.
Let me tell y'all want something else. I was looking at some of these comments and seeing what they were saying. The thing is that we're born. Okay.
It's definitely like two fish kissing, Bree. It's just like, ugh. It's like.
It just wasn't,
Yeah, it's not there.
I mean, we got tons of chemistry with Hope and Thomas, but it just didn't go. Because Hope she don't want it. What he wants, she don't want. And she even said that all the way up into the day of Thomas coming back before they walked in that office when she was talking to her mama. She don't want it. And she don't have to want it. She don't have to get married. She doesn't have to do any of that if she don't want to. But Thomas don't have to wait either.
Exactly.
Very true. And that's why I'm like, what's her crocodile tears for? You don't want to get married. So what are you crying for, girl? You don't have to. You can live your life as you choose to. This man is attempting to move past you, even though he hasn't. But you don't want marriage unless you're going to up and change your mind and say that you're ready now.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. If she were to say, Thomas, I'm ready to get married. Thomas, I'm ready to have your babies. He would drop Paris like a bad habit. Same way Carter did to Paris.
But you know what? She wasn't even thinking about Thomas. She wouldn't fly to Paris or anything. She didn't go out there to see her son. None of that. She kept crying to Steffy about how Steffy sent them away. You could have got on a jet. You can take the Forester jet. It don't cost you a cent. Go on over there across to Paris and go find your man. Go see. You would have known that he was dating somebody instead of worrying about Steffy telling you about it. But you were thinking about John Finnegan and having your chesticles, as Bree would call it, all out.
She had testicles, everything.
I want somebody to, like, either Ridge or Steffy, somebody, to ask Thomas if Hope changed her mind and told you today that she was ready to marry you, would you break up with Paris? I want to see how he would respond to that question.
Yeah. Somebody.
He would give the right answer, but we would see in his face how he really feels.
Yeah.
Lisa Bloom says, I don't understand wanting Thomas to be with women who obviously don't want him. She only wants sex. She doesn't love him. I agree with that. She's an attention 304. Every time he feeds her with all of that emotional ego massaging, it turns her on. I'm a one-woman man. The only woman I want is you. And she light up like a Christmas tree and she's ready to hit the sheets. She only told that man she loved him in the 11th hour on that particular episode when he said, I'm out.
Well, dang, T.
Now, listen, I pay it. Follow the details. I mean, she talking about how deep this feelings is and all of that, but all she did was sleep with this dude. These Paris and even Douglas and Thomas, they've been going on dates. They've been going for ice cream and going out to the art museum and all these other favorite places. So at least they get outside the bed.
Was she talking about how deep the feelings were, or how deep he felt in her?
Which one are you talking about, Jay?
Oh, you said she was talking about how deep the feeling was. Was she talking about?
Well, how about their Oh, you know what? That just went over my head. Stop it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute you. No, I'm just kidding.
I was thinking the same thing. She kept on talking about how deep those feelings are. There's nothing that would ever compare to her. There's nothing, like, there's no other woman on earth that will equal up to her. Come on, girl. You want this is a rich, wealthy, handsome, gorgeous man who deserves a woman who's fully committed to him. That's why I will never understand why she was crying the way she was. That's why I kept calling her a clown. She is a clown.
Bree.
Like, what does she want?
Bree, you know what this is. She felt all that time she had Thomas wrapped around her finger. We were saying that in the lives over the past probably 5 to 7 months. She figured she had Thomas right around her finger. Oh, you gonna wait? Yeah, I'm gonna carry this ring around my neck. I'm not gonna even take the ring seriously. I'm gonna play with it when I feel like it. And, then no, I'm not gonna wear it. And it's like, she figured like he would just, whenever he come back, he gonna always want me. He been wanting me all this time. What's gonna stop him now? And when he brought her in there, she's like, whoa, wait, not me? Oh, you can't tell me it's not me.
But you know what she did say was she could understand if he started dating somebody else. Her confusion is him jumping into an engagement after only 3 months of being away from her.
Well, I mean, hey, she felt that she was supposed to have him on lock for the next year or two?
I mean, he was dedicating that
Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
he said, I'm getting old. I ain't got time to be sitting.
He didn't say that.
Which was his own fault. He did not need to wait for this woman. And the thing is, and what I'll give Hope a little rope here is, she gave this man an out and said, like, hey, if you can handle this is what I'm trying to do here. Are you okay with that? He kept saying yes in hopes that she will say yes to his ring one day. And that's just not the right way to go about it. But he took any opportunity that she gave to him to be with her. So if it was just sex, he was good. It was more than what he was getting, waiting for her for 12 years. But I'm glad that he kind of came to his senses and wants to look at and explore his other options. I don't think Paris is the option that he truly wants. I think it provides what he knows that he needs. I also think that's the woman that he wants to give it to him.
You don't think? Okay, so you think he really truly don't want to be with her?
I think me personally, I think he's committed to moving past Hope. And here's a woman who's saying yes to the things that Hope said no to. And he's also, they keep saying that he was really raw when he got to Paris, and Paris was picking him up so he can try to feel better about himself and move on and move forward. It sounds like she was more so like a really great friend that helped him pick himself up, but they don't really describe a love connection to me. The standalone video you did, I can see more of the connection, but when they say that when they came back and they described their interaction while they were together for those couple of months, it just seemed like Paris was just picking this man up while he was down, and she's saying yes to the things that Hope said no to, and that maybe that's why he feels that he loves her.
So,
go ahead. Sorry.
so okay, so the interesting thing about that, we talking about Thomas Forrester, a billionaire son, who, he probably could have had access to many women out in Paris, or models, because he went over there, and there she was. So I mean, somebody that obviously he had a previous connection with, somebody that he knew, somebody that eventually realized that he want the same things, but he could have opened up his options to anybody in Paris, the models, anybody else, because of who he is, but he chose her.
He chose what was comfortable.
So do you see her just as a placeholder?
I do. Because this man spent a lot of time trying to talk with Hope and trying to console this girl's feelings. And I'm like, for what? If you move past her, you telling her you're engaged, and especially after she threw your ring in your face numerous of times, you shouldn't give her no more than 5 minutes. Go with your fiance, share the news about your engagement with your family instead of letting Paris share the news. He was still in the office talking to Hope.
Well, it was Douglas, it wasn't Paris.
Well, yeah, but still, it wasn't Thomas, and he was the main one who said that he wanted to tell his family, but he dedicated all that time to Hope.
Yeah, well, again, we would have needed 2 episodes to come out of that. So, I mean, if we had got 5 minutes, they would be like, okay, what else we gonna do? Because they spread it out, the whole situation with Ridge and Steffi, and they sprinkled that in on part of, what's today, Friday. They sprinkled part of that in on Tuesday and Wednesday, so they had to stretch it out through the week somehow.
My favorite part of this whole thing is knowing that Thomas and Steffi talked often, and that he confided in Steffi that he was dating Paris, even though she didn't know about the engagement. But I liked the little background to that it showed that Steffi and Thomas were communicating with each other.
Here's the other issue, because she was talking about, LaShanta put that in the comment section, say even Hope said he's a good catch, but Hope was also the same person that told her mom a week and a half ago that because Finn is the complete package, because what was it, Liam is having a halfway heart, but he's a good father. But Thomas he's a committed person, but he got a history. But Finn is the whole package. Girl, go sit down.
Right. She actually said that to Finn. She said she compared Liam and Thomas to one another.
Was that Finn? I thought it was her mom. It was
Yes.
Finn. Okay. Go
And
ahead, Bree.
I was so angry. That's why when her crying, I keep going back to that scene. You just had no problem trashing him about a week and a half ago.
Thank you.
She's talking to her mom, not Finn.
I thought it was her mom. It was.
She had two conversations. She had a conversation with Finn in the office when they were talking about her love life, and she brought up Liam, like he was a good man, but he wasn't faithful. Thomas is
faithful.
Yes, and then she had several other conversations with her mom about how Finn is a total package. But she first had that conversation with Finn.
I wish that all that information, who knows, Finn trying to keep Thomas away from Hope might just say that to him. Trish, where you at, girl? What you got?
Man, I'm just cracking up over here. It's this whole thing is just it's a clown show. You know, she is so, like I said in the chat, we literally witnessed her, and it did, I will say, I mean, it got me a little bit. She played the victim so well. Like, Thomas was not ever supposed to not be only about hope. That was not ever supposed to happen.
I don't feel bad for this girl at all. She had, like you were saying, like we've been saying, girl, go on the plane. If anything, go see your son before another woman he lets another woman call him mommy. Come on now.
Exactly. She missed all of that.
Now, T, when are we supposed to get because it was already announced that some person is going to be coming on to play like a doctor that Hope sees. Are we getting that? Are we getting that next week? Because when they showed the little preview for next week, she definitely looked like she was having a reaction.
Oh yeah, she was having a reaction to watch them two kiss.
I'm like, she's gonna need to see a doctor because she looked like she was. I don't know if she was about to faint or fall out.
No, she was having a reaction to what was going on at that engagement party.
How about the way she compared, or Thomas compared their relationship to Steffy and Liam?
Toxic. Toxic.
She called it toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, not Sting.
Yeah, well, this is what I'll say to that. And I'm glad that we saw the little bit, that 5 minutes where Thomas came in the office with Steffy and Hope. It's clear that she's been driving those conversations with Thomas. I feel like he's been sitting there listening in, same way he was sitting there listening in when Steffy was grilling and coming down on the whole situation with Hope and Thomas, and he just sat there and listened. I think she's been saying that she's been putting in a lot of, what's the term I'm saying? Like a lot of key words to this man about what she views of his relationship. But if he had it his way, if Hope were to come to him and say, I want you and only you, anything that Steffy said would have went out the window. But you can tell that she's been driving those conversations. And I'm surprised toxic came out of his mouth, even though Liam, Steffy, and Hope chose to be in that toxic scenario for 10 years.
Well, he's always felt that way about Liam, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He has always voiced his opinion to Steffy and to anybody else that Liam was basically a
POS.
Yeah, and he's said a couple of times.
Oh, nice.
Has basically called Steffy in so many words stupid for even dealing with Liam. So it doesn't surprise me that he used the word toxic when describing that relationship, because he's always had, even though there's been times where he has supported his sister because that's who she wanted to be with, and he just wanted her to be happy. He has never had positive, I guess I don't know. He's never had really that much of a positive opinion of Liam or him being with his sister.
I got a question. Should Hope, and I know I guess in a sort of round way we kind of touched on it. Should Hope expected Steffi to tell her that they were dating in Paris?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. She was like, you knew and didn't say anything. What was she?
The victim. She's
had Steffi went and told Hope that Thomas was dating somebody, everybody would have been calling Steffi petty, telling her that wasn't her business to tell. She was just trying to hurt Hope.
Yep.
They would have villainized her for doing that. So Steffi owes Hope nothing when it comes to her brother's love life. She did not need to tell her anything about what Thomas was doing as far as dating. And it was Thomas's responsibility to tell Hope about how close they were getting in the way that it affected Douglas.
Right.
That wasn't Steffi's responsibility.
I agree with that. Anything co-parenting when it comes to Douglas, obviously he would need to have that conversation. But who he is giving an awakening to that she's not getting, that ain't none of your business.
And I found that really, and that was the funniest thing that she said that that's not my business to tell, but this is Steffi's MO, is to be in everybody's business and give her 2 cents. But all of a sudden with this, you're quiet. Okay.
Yeah, of course she is.
She gonna protect her brother.
Hey, let me ask y'all this though.
What's up?
Steffi knew that Douglas was calling Paris mom.
Say
Should she have told Hope?
No, because that's still not her. That's Thomas's responsibility.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. He should at least had a conversation with Hope, especially if there's a new woman coming into his life, playing another parental role, that they have to all co-parent and coexist with each other. If he was taking that seriously, he should have brought that up.
Right. What I look like calling my brother's ex-girlfriend at that.
I know, right?
Letting her know about my brother's business when it comes to who he's dating and what's going on with him and his son. That's not my business. That's not my responsibility. That is my brother's responsibility to get on the phone and handle his business. I'm not getting in the middle of that.
Yep.
Well, my brother would no. Any of my 6 brothers would have had a problem.
Man, you got 6 brothers?
Yeah, that conversation would never. You don't pick up that phone. You don't talk to them. When you run into them, you keep their name out of both your mouths. Don't talk about my business. It's not their business. Your ex is for a reason. Don't ever do that.
Trish, are you the only girl?
No, there was 6 boys and 4 girls.
Holy crap. Okay, you got a big family.
You had no boyfriends that disrespected you. My goodness.
Not in my life. Not once ever. Not once.
She had a whole football team.
I did. I'm the youngest too, you guys.
She had a starting 5 and a 6 man.
Wait a minute, hold on. You the youngest?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you definitely had a whole lot of protection.
Yeah.
It would have been yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I'll have her home by 9.
Yeah.
I will say though, where I do think Steffi, I don't know if wrong is the right way to phrase it, but her saying, I think it was today's episode where she was telling Thomas, like, marry Paris, don't even give it a second thought, or don't even think about it, just hurry up and marry her, or whatever it was that she said. Because you know that Steffi is saying this because her number one agenda in this is that she can't stand Hope, and she just doesn't want to see Hope with her brother.
Yeah,
that's true.
So let me ask you guys this, to kind of piggybacking on what you just said, Keish. Just say everything was copacetic. The first proposal, Hope decided to go ahead and become engaged. They're about to get married. Do you still think that Steffi would be acting the same way? Or is this also part of the thing that Steffi is right? She was using her brother as a dildo.
Oh, whoa.
Well, I mean, that's what Steffi said. Steffi actually said that.
Wait, so what are you asking?
So I guess, okay, because you were saying she pretty much, from what I understand where you're coming from, is the fact that because it's Hope, she really just want him to just go get married, period. Just because she don't want him to be with Hope. But if Hope was on the up and up and they were dating and they're engaged and get married, do you still think she would have the same attitude? Because part of the reason that Steffi says that she don't want Hope to be with him because she's using her brother.
Because she feels like Hope is using her brother.
Right.
I think that she would still roll her eyes about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would still feel like Thomas was. I don't know, because back in the winter, the fall, or like earlier this year, she had asked Hope a couple of times, like, "Do you love my brother? Are you going to commit to my brother?" And
right.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to commit to him, then I'll back off. But so far, you haven't said anything about wanting to commit to him. You haven't reciprocated his love. You know how much he loves you and how long he's loved you. So this is why I have a problem with the relationship, because it feels like you're just using him to, I don't know, maybe heal her heart from Liam, from her divorce or whatever. So I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe if Hope had said a while back that she was in love with Thomas, or that she loved Thomas,
mm-hmm.
Instead of waiting until basically Thomas decided to break up with her to admit it, that maybe Steffi would have eased up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sounds like that's what she wanted to hear from her, was that she loved her brother.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she would have
kind of backed up.
Maybe she would have backed off a little. I can still see her having
issues with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having issues, being snarky towards her just because it's Hope. But I mean, she accepted Brooke at one point with her father a couple of different times. She just accepted their relationship. She, this is who my father loves. She loves him. I have to accept it.
Yeah,
so I feel like eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I'm like, a lot of this is predicated on the fact that she thinks that she's only using Thomas to sleep with. Because that's all that it's been. She doesn't really want anything outside of that we've seen so far.
But that's also not on Hope too much either, because she discussed this with Thomas. They both made a decision to sleep with one another. I mean, Steffi can only influence so much, because that grown man was going to do what he wanted to. Right. And if Hope was ready to spread her legs open and she says, "Come get me," what was he supposed to do? Say, "No, not at all." Like, Steffi can only influence so much. Same way she doesn't have any influence whatsoever when it comes to her daddy or her grandpa or anything, especially when it comes to the Logan women. She knows it's a lose-lose battle. So I think she would have her 2 cents, and then you see how things play out. But there's only so much that she can really say. Same way no one can dictate what she does and the men that she chooses. He didn't like the fact that she was in a toxic back and forth with Liam, but she was spreading the wide for this man, whether he was married or not, and was happy with it. He gave his 2 cents, but he let her live her life. I think it's the same way with this situation here.
I would like to see and it's like a scene with just Thomas and Steffi, if Steffi would sit down and like be real with him and say, or I don't know, something like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you really in love with Paris? Like, do you really want to marry her?" I want to see her. I want to see if she tries to like gauge how Thomas really feels about Paris. Not because she doesn't trust that he loves her, but because she's just asking, like, "Is this what you really want? Like, do you truly want to be with her?" Kind of. I don't think she would say it in front of Hope, of course, but like when it's just her and Thomas, I would want to see what she says about it.
Me too, because when they were in the office, and I think Paris was like, I think his feelings have completely moved on from Hope, and I think he's completely over, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, guys. Steffi leaned over to the side and was like, I hope so too. So she doesn't even believe her brother has moved on.
Yeah.
Jay, Trish.
I feel like Steffi probably would have acted the same way. Just because I feel like she still would have stuck to the whole Logan's thing, the Logan's versus Forces things, and probably still would have felt like, even if Hope would have said yes to the engagement, she probably would have still felt like Hope was using him that way. Like, you're just using him to get over Liam. You're rushing into this. So I still feel like she probably would have found issues to say that, she didn't agree with them being together. She didn't think Hope, truly loved her brother. I think she still would have probably been acting the same way.
I find that very ironic. I didn't, I'm thinking about this now. Now, granted, it wasn't necessarily engagement, but she said it was rushed to be with Paris. But, I mean, her marriage wasn't even over when she rushed to get that awakening from Thomas. I mean,
That's so true.
I mean, the divorce papers and the ring taken off and all that type of stuff happened after the awakening. So, I mean, she was still Hope Spencer when she was screwing Thomas.
Yeah, she was.
Absolutely. I think honestly that Steffi would have had a conversation with Thomas, and Thomas would have told her, look, man, she said yes, we're getting married and you need to come to terms with it because this is exactly what I want. It's what I've always wanted. And I think just like Steffi agreed to give it a chance with Brooke and the co-CEO thing, she caved really quickly. She's going to give it a chance. I think she would have done the same thing for Thomas. She may not like it and she may still roll her eyes and she may still in the back of her head be like, this is probably not going to end well, but I think she would have bit her tongue for her brother for as long as she could and probably had some barbs. They would still share some barbs back and forth, but, they'd still have the Thanksgiving dinner where they're all saying what they're grateful for and all the, that I think that would have been the way it would have gone, but who knows? We'll never know.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we will know eventually because we all know Tope is going to be Endgame. So.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep, without question.
Okay. So if they did get back, to take them to get back together, how would you want that to come back? Where she decides to get married or Thomas concedes?
I want Hope to grovel. Same way this man was groveling for her. I want her to return that favor. And that's why I feel that's why he's hoping that Hope would be the one to return her feelings and actually showcase how she really feels for him. Because for several months, it's him showing many ways how he loves her, reassuring his commitment to her and only her. And it was only like at the final hour where she was like, okay, I love you. Okay, she needs to show that she loves him. She needs to put on that Logan exterior and get ready to try to fight for her man, like her mom used to do with all the women that Ridge had been with, and Nick and whoever else she was with. She has to prove that she loves this man versus just saying the word. She actually would have to, even more than that, give him the commitment that he wants. Otherwise, then she needs to shut the hell up and stop crying so damn much.
Okay, what y'all got? Keish, Trish, and Jay.
I would like to see them get back together if it happens, and like have it be like maybe they both concede. Maybe they both give a little something and have a meeting of the minds. Maybe she eventually, she agrees, to marry him, but they have like a year-long engagement or something like that. Like it can be like the best of both worlds for them. So he knows he's going to get the commitment, he's going to get the marriage, and she still, says she needs time. So, agree to a long engagement, and then you both get what you want out of it.
Okay. What about you, Trish?
Maybe Hope will. Maybe she'll lock her in a gondola.
Uh-oh.
Silly.
It is about time for an Aspen trip, isn't it? They haven't been
Right?
Aspen
Did
in
they
a while.
sell that house? I mean, I don't remember.
Isn't they getting ready to go to Monaco?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. I hope anyway.
That's
Yeah.
just
Oh, just man, what's gonna be happening back home?
No, Keisha, I think Steffi's going too, isn't she? Because
Yeah,
they said
Steph.
something about Finn being, alone. Because Steffi's going too.
So Steffi was supposed to go, and then apparently she's supposed to, when she gets to the airport, realizes that she doesn't have her passport, so she doesn't go. So Jackie isn't in Monaco with them right now, or I don't know if they're back now, but like the last couple of weeks, Torsten and KKL, Joshua Morrow, and Melissa Claire Egan were all in Monaco.
So
that sounds like a setup. Like when Steffi gets home, she's gonna catch Finn kissing Hope.
I don't think that's
well, because I mean, I've heard some speculations. I don't want to call this a spoiler or anything. That because Hope gets rejected, she now goes after Finn.
I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
Because whenever they have somebody forget something and head back home,
right,
they usually find something they don't want to see.
So if that does happen, I still don't see this. So we still haven't gotten any indication from Finn that he is at all interested in
right.
So if she walks in on something, it's going to be a misunderstanding.
And it's her own karma too.
I wonder how long when is that supposed to air? The end of July?
I believe so.
Okay, so I'm wondering, are they going to get into an argument? Meaning, just say Steffi and Finn. I don't know. This is not a spoiler. We're just trying to piece possible pieces together. Could it be a situation where Steffi and Finn are now at odds, and all of this stuff happens within the next 2-3 weeks, and then she leaves for the trip, and now he's in his feelings. Hope go over there because she's all mopey-eyed because of losing Thomas to Paris, and then maybe that way. But you think it could be a situation of just a misunderstanding? Well, I mean, if they lips on each other, how's there a misunderstanding?
I agree with
that. I think he's just saying if it's Hope that grabs Finn and kisses him and he didn't, you know what I mean? If he wasn't...
Well, she can't say nothing. Steffi can't say not a thing because, I mean, Liam went in and grabbed her a couple times with them kisses, so...
Right. That's why I would not feel bad for Steffi. And plus, and I found it really rich about Steffi telling Hope to not interfere. But Steffi has had a nice career of interfering, especially in relationships. So much so that she almost had a whole other baby with Hope's ex-husband at that. Well, so if anything happens, it's her own karma.
To be fair, Liam came traipsing over to her house that night that they had that.
Right.
Should have told him to go away.
True.
Looking for her and talking about, how serious are you and Finn?
Mm-hmm.
Kelly and their little family, so that wasn't Steffi looking for anything with him.
Well, that's what I was saying. He pulled her into both those kisses, but she didn't stop him. Well,
yeah, for sure.
But after the fact, same way she didn't stop him from. She could have. She has the ability to open and close her legs. She made a choice to open her legs to that man.
Oh yeah, I'm not disputing that, but people try to make it seem as if Steffi was seeking Liam out, and that wasn't the case. That she had just gotten out of rehab, and that man brought his little dusty butt over there because his feelings was hurt and talking all that mess because he knew how he could get to Steffi, talking all that mess about how they could have had their nice little family and all that crap. So no,
okay.
Steffi isn't innocent, but Liam definitely came over there and instigated all of that.
Who is that? I just saw a comment. What happened to it? Oh, yeah. So, LaShanta and Anita Preciosa, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly, was talking about how Finn is going to try to talk to Paris out of being with Thomas, telling Paris that she can do better.
This boy Thomas can have no one, huh? Any woman Thomas get with, Finn gonna show up.
I
As we
mean,
all do.
obviously they had a friendship, Finn and Paris, because I remember Paris had fantasies about Finn for a while.
Well, Steffi let her live with them.
Right,
Right.
exactly. So I'm wondering, and I'm not saying that it's a situation that that's going to happen, but I could picture Finn trying to get at Paris and say, you can do better than Thomas, just because, you know. And I guess it'll speak to the fact, is it just telling Hope that, or is it telling anybody that?
And I'm like, you hate your. And thank you, and Maya Baker. That's what I was about to say. It's like he hates his brother-in-law so badly, and Thomas has even thanked him without him even knowing about how he's been such a great husband to Steffi. Regardless, I mean, the Sheila situation is a whole other thing, but everything else, he's been a great husband for her.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn takes the opportunity to trash Thomas for no reason.
Spoiler.
What? No. They was just saying that he probably, that would be something that they would think Finn would do, is to get in touch with Paris and say, hey, you can do better, because he just, and I agree with you on that, Bree, is that Thomas actually gave that man a compliment when talking to Hope about the toxicity in Steffi Liam's relationship. Now that she was Finn, she's with a great guy. But that same great guy is trashing him.
Thomas has always complimented Finn and the way he treats his sister.
Yes.
I had nothing but good things to say about him.
His only issue was how he handled the whole Sheila situation and how that affected his sister, which is valid. Other than that, this man's never trashed you for you to come down so hard and then say you want to be Hope's protector and everything. Like, I don't understand where that's coming from all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Finn, or what? Like, I don't need any POV from Finn when it comes to what's going on Hope Thomas right now. I want them to keep them out of that, because he's the one person that doesn't need to have any opinion of what's going on. It has nothing to do with him.
Okay, so KH, we're not blaming him for something that he hasn't done. This is something that they were saying that we think that he would probably do, because he's done it with Hope. And now that, several times, right? And now that Paris is with Thomas, we're speculating that that's a possibility. It's not a spoiler. It's not anything like that. It's just an idea that could possibly be somebody that would say something like that to Paris. That's all.
So I would say that the difference with Hope is that he always references the Beth Gate stuff with her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he always brings up. So it's not just a general Thomas is a crappy person, you can do better. It's always, he always brings up what Thomas did to her in reference to
Beth.
Well, and didn't his own birth mother steal a baby? Didn't Sheila?
Oh, his egg donor?
His egg donor steal a baby? Didn't she?
Yeah. She's has an entire 30-year rap sheet.
Right, but she's cool, right?
Yeah. Apparently.
Good.
I mean, everything's coming up roses for her, so he's not going to blame anything. But Thomas, who hasn't done anything to him, is getting all the smoke. Okay.
He believes in reform for everyone except Thomas, I guess.
Second chances, 30-second chances.
Right.
Yeah.
11 to 45 chances.
But that's why I'm thinking that Thomas probably won't even be a topic with Paris, because there's nothing that he's done directly to Paris.
Dewan, thank you for saying that. I was thinking that. Bring back Grace Buckingham. I would take that connection between Paris and Thomas seriously, since they're trying to get married. If we see some of her family members, if it's all the Logans and the Forresters at that wedding or part of the engagement party, none of her family's there, I can't take this seriously at all.
Okay, so Belle, cut the check. Get on the phone, cut the check, and bring back, Grace and maybe Zoe, somebody,
Definitely even bring Taylor back for her kids.
Right.
For real, you talk about bringing back Grace. Where his mama at?
Yeah, his own mama ain't gonna even be there.
and she was highly against Hope and Thomas being together. It wasn't just Steffy. The mom was not for it at all.
Taylor did not like that at all. Nope. Even though Ridge gave it a seal of approval.
Of course.
And Brooke.
And and Brooke, out of all people.
At the last hour, the minute Steffy was just totally against it, Steffy and Taylor, Brooke changed her tune.
To appease Ridge, like, oh, they might have a connection. My daughter seems to really love Tom. Girl, stop.
Yeah, she was.
Stop.
Yeah, she was getting her back blown out by Thomas, and that was it. Girl, please. Nope.
Well, she should understand.
Yeah, if anybody knows about backs being blown out, it's definitely Brooke.
Forced creations. She walks in the same position Ridge had put her in, Eric put her in, everyone put her in. She's like, oh, my daughter's passing on the torch. Look at this. So she, of all people, would understand what her daughter's going through. That's why she's the one calling out all the stuff that Hope's doing. She did it already.
Yep.
Brooke knows what that Forster D does to you.
Evidently.
Oh man, that's good. It's later in the show, because we really talking right now. Oh man. Okay, so I think because I don't think I got everybody answered to that question. I know we kind of deviated. So you would want to see Hope and Thomas get back together, or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to see her act like she's fully committed, and then I can be on board.
Okay. I'm just here for the awakening scenes. That's about it. I don't care about the rest of it.
With Paris and Thomas.
I would like to see that too. I would want to see an intimate scene between those two.
If it's anything like that kiss, they can keep that.
That's got Cass and Sharon written all over it.
No, that was me as a 6-year-old putting Barbie and Ken together.
Oh Lord, stop it!
Chris, I'm sure your Barbie and Ken doll had more passion than that.
I have.
Christine and Danny had more passion than that.
Oh my gosh!
And they're supposed to be showing up on B&B for.
Dang, we got a lot of no's in the comments. Y'all don't want to see them back together.
Y'all didn't see the awakening?
I guess because of Hope and what she's been doing these last several months, it kind of, you're talking trash about the dude, and you're thinking about his sister's husband. He don't know about all that, but the fans do.
Guys, I know it's tough right now, but y'all don't remember how he almost bit that girl over that desk?
Oh,
come on now.
All over the couch. She was running behind couches.
Uh-huh.
She soaked up the couch over at the cabin.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did you say soak up the couch?
Yeah, we were saying she needs to wring out every couch that she was on, and even the Forrester office. Like, they had just slept together, and she sat there with poor Douglas on that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Beth too. Beth was sick sitting on that couch too.
Right, all of those scenes. I think Dewan said that he felt that Thope was born. I'm like, I can't see how Thomas and Paris would be any better, in my opinion.
The lip biting alone. What you mean boring?
What, right? Oh my God.
And if Thomas and Paris have a lot of big shoes to fill when it comes to the romance.
Well, she does have a nice body.
She's a beautiful girl.
So, I mean, if they throw some cute lingerie on her, let her hair braids hang down,
I think she's just going to look like a kid with him. I don't know.
She's not in the right age group. She needs to be in the age group with RJ. That fits a whole lot better, I feel. And on top of that, I want to see Zenda's reaction. Because even when... Yeah, that just fits better, in my opinion.
Well, she friend zoned him last year, so.
Several times, and that's a stupid woman.
All right, did y'all get it all out for bold?
Yeah.
All right, so we got to do our last final segments, our flip the script and who's taking several seats star of the week and the pickle of the week. So the flip the script segment for the newbies, are we still around 165 out there?
It's been steady. We're at a little over 150, guys. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so our flip the script segment is if there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, this is where we flip the script. So, what do you guys have for Young and the Restless? Who going first?
I'll go first. The whole Lily and Devon getting into that little argument after Billy left the office, I would have just scrapped that whole thing and let them actually complete one of their schemes. Let them be successful at what they're trying to do for once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Bree?
The only one I can really think of is for Kyle. Like, he can accept the job offer for Victor, but only as the inside man, so he can relay that information to Jack and then try to prove that he is CEO worthy by helping Jack in regards to taking over Glissade too. Or
Gotcha.
the ins and outs of Glissade.
Yeah, well, mine would have been with Adam and Chelsea. It's like, look, you coming over to this hotel. I need to go see about what happened. Give me some pictures. Where did he cut himself? I need details. Y'all talking about y'all going to put him in inpatient status. Y'all didn't ask us. Did we sign a POA?
Exactly.
Y'all got to answer some questions or I'm taking my son out of here. You just can't throw him in inpatient and I can't see him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was going to be mine too. I agree 100%.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, what you got, Jay?
Mine is the same as Keish. I would have had Devon and Lily actually be able to complete their plan successfully without the doubts, like actually have the faith and the trust in each other that they're going to get this done instead of all of these doubts and accusations. Like, I just want to see them actually get this done.
Okay, cool. Did you want to add on more, Trish? Or you cool with just the Chelsea thing?
Cool.
Okay.
I'm cool.
All right, bold.
Mine is pretty quick. When Thomas saw Hope crying, all those crocodile tears, I wish he said, "Well, where was my love and my support when I was crying my tears? What are you crying for?"
Ooh, burn.
Burn. I will. You know what? I got one on that same thing. And while she was yelling at him about what he's been doing and what's too soon, I would have had Thomas say, "So, what have you been up to? What you been doing?" Oh, good question. Who else?
Mine would have just been not having Douglas call that girl mommy.
Okay, that's cool. Keish?
I would have had them come back just dating, not actually engaged.
Okay.
And see, I would have him not coming back dating at all. I just have him coming back being a stronger person and having, been a great dad. I mean, why do you always have to be coupled up?
He should have came back married already.
Ooh, that'd have been so bad.
Which is what everybody was hoping anyway, because people have been talking about he's coming back married with a brunette and all this type of stuff that people was putting. So a lot of folks was hoping that he came back married.
But engagement leaves that door right wide open for Hope.
Yep. All right. Who's taking seats? So on the taking a seat segment is if there is somebody got on your nerves, they were just doing too much. They need to go take several seats. Who would you choose? Who you got for Young and the Restless?
Diane and Kyle.
I have Diane and Kyle as well.
I have Kyle, Lily, and Devon.
I had Jack, Audra, and I had Jack and Audra.
Okay. And I guess I'm going to give it to that doctor that came up to the hotel. She need to take several seats.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I'm like, girl, you lost your mind. Who's taking seats on Bold?
Uh,
Poppy.
Was called Paris Mama.
Huh? What'd you say, Keish?
You said taking seats on Bowl, right?
Right.
I said Thomas because he let Douglas call Paris Mama.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Poppy needs to take several seats.
I had Hope and Poppy. I want Hope to sit at the therapist's office, and I need for Hope to pop up over on Maury and get the DNA test results.
I'm gonna go Hope, Thomas, and Poppy.
Yeah, I think Hope need to sit on a seat of Ice Cube. When she saw Thomas standing in that doorway, she was like, "It is on and popping," and it was like, "Nope."
No, it's not.
It's been a drought. It's been nothing but a drought.
That girl got cobwebs, shoot. Whereas we know what Thomas has been doing. So.
Yeah, he been in Paris.
Paris.
He's been.
I don't know. She had cobwebs. She had a little drip when Phil was giving her those massages.
Any pulse would do for her.
Well, listen, hey, Jay. Now you know when cobwebs are outside, even if it's raining, the cobwebs are still there unless somebody get rid of them.
They just dab cobwebs.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So that girl saw. You see her face before the whole Paris thing. When she saw Thomas stand up in that door, her face lit up like a Christmas tree and said, "Oh, I can go back to what I was doing."
She was ready too. She was ready. Whatever he was gonna bring her, she's like, "Okay, yeah, Douglas, go get those sandwiches. That's fine."
Yeah.
She was ready to lock that door too. She was like, "It's on." But
listen, she can officially go put up her rose. That's it. She done.
She was ready to say, "Say it, Thomas. Say it." You know what she wanted him to say? That I'm a one-woman man. To activate her, she was ready for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, she did say it because she was in her whole emotional statement. She was like, "You're a one-woman man, and that woman is not me."
Yeah.
I love that moment because it wasn't her in that moment. Sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't act like I'm not enjoying Hope.
Grovel.
For Thomas, because for the last 5 years solid, it's been Thomas basically begging for her to be with him. That's not even counting the previous
Wait a minute.
5 years when Adam Gregory was playing Thomas.
Yeah. Maya Baker says that Paris and Thomas's energy doesn't give back breaking, has it been that it doesn't give back breaking has been happening in Paris.
He telling the truth. He telling nothing but the truth.
Yeah, it's giving father-daughter.
Oh my God, girl!
Giving picnics and holding hands while walking in Paris.
I don't see father.
Me either. That sounds gross.
I thought that was disgusting. I don't.
It's the same difference.
I don't get that vibe with Matt Atkinson and Diamond White.
It's friends. It's like it's not sexy. It's not hot. It's like. I probably won't go as far as saying father-daughter, but I see what Bree means when she says that. But it's just friend vibes. It's just friend vibes.
Gotcha. Did all y'all get y'all seats in for Bold? Okay. All right. Star of the week. YNR.
Sharon, I'm gonna give it to Sharon Case because we haven't seen her in a while. It was just nice to see her on screen, I guess.
She was killing it in her scenes. Like, I believe the method acting with Sharon Case is incredible. She's just been an amazing actress for years. The fact that she's playing someone who's mentally off balance, well done. Good for her.
I'm going to also give it to the little girl that plays Katie because her eye rolls are epic.
Yes.
She is not here for clear, and I love it.
Wait a minute. Was that this week?
I thought that was last week, wasn't it?
There was a scene on Monday. I think it was Monday.
Monday.
They came to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, somebody else to.
Oh yeah, we got the episode when she kept saying that she had to live here.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There was another round of somebody trying to get Katie to accept Claire, and it's like, just let her be, let her say how she feels, and just let it. Even Claire is saying that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give it to Judah Mackey, and I'm gonna give it to Susan Walters because she got on my nerves this week, so she acted the heck out of it. Trying to fire Kyle and yelling and screaming and can on. I'm like, okay, you doing too much, girl. But you get a star for that, Susan.
For me, I got 3: Mark Grossman and Melissa, Claire Egan, and Sharon Case. I think they really had great performances this week.
Gotcha. Okay, who's y'all star of the week on Bold?
I'm gonna give it to Clint Howard, who plays Tom,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll also give it to Annika because that girl can cry on cue.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is she took a lot of notes from KKL. Good for her, but yeah, she's definitely one of the stars of this week. But Clint Howard, I love the story arc for him.
I'm gonna say Annika and Henry Samiri Douglas.
I loved him.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I hope they never age him up.
But no, I mean, no.
Hey, wait a minute. Beth and Kelly gonna age him before he gets there. They're younger than him.
Right, exactly.
It was Annika for me too. The range of emotions she showed from when Douglas first got there, and then she saw Thomas, and she had, she was hopeful, and then to when she got the news of Paris, and then everything that went on from there. The crying, the arguing with Steffy. So she had a great range of emotions this week.
Yeah, I give it to Annika because I enjoy watching her eat crow.
She's so good.
And
it was served up on a silver platter.
and Annika leaned right into it. So I'm gonna give it to her. All right, pickle of the week, Young. It's just sour.
Diane.
Who?
Diane.
I give it to Devon and Lily. Y'all look so crazy right now.
I'm gonna give it to Billy. Just the way he's just been moving, and he was so quick to want to hop on a plane to go see Chelsea, but not his mom. And also, before I forget, Chloe's ass.
Wait a minute, you mean Cuckoo Chloe?
Cuckoo Chloe. Why the hell is she saying a damn thing? Just be quiet. Your Sally's trying to help you get a job, and you want to throw your 2 cents in and overtop. Sit your behind down. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, cool. Any other pickles?
I'm gonna give mine to Summer for approaching Audra and even bringing up Kyle. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Why are you grilling this girl about Kyle? You mind your business and worry about, like what Bree was saying, worry about that fine man you got.
Right, or I'll take him. Wait. I'm sorry, Jenna. I know that's your man. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Well, if she don't watch it, maybe Lily will take him.
Too funny.
Yes. Great Kim test with those 2.
All right. Who else? Trish, did you get your pickle in?
Y'all said everyone I was gonna say, so every time it would be somebody else say, I'm like, oh, that okay, or yeah, nope, yep, okay, nope, yep, agree, yeah, we're good.
Okay. Jay, did you get your pickle in?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Diane.
Okay, gotcha. All right, what about Bold?
Poppy. For me.
Yeah,
I'm
Poppy.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say Poppy and Hope, but Hope might need it too much.
Oh. I thought she don't need it. I thought it was an eggplant she needed, not a pickle.
But anything that will slip.
Anything salad.
All right, keep going. Well, who else? More pickles?
The paternity storyline.
Oh God, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That is just weird.
It makes no sense.
I mean, I'm trying to picture Poppy sleeping with Tom.
No, see, that's no, no.
I had a thought. I thought maybe she had popped one of those meds, thinking she got with a rich man, and then she wakes up finding herself asleep. She slept with Tom. That's what I immediately thought when it came to those meds. I thought they would bring up what happened with Luna, or kind of foreshadow what happened with Luna as a result of how she came into this world thanks to Tom.
Yeah, that whole thing is. Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say she popped one of those mints and thought she was with Ron Howard.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my God, Jay. Yeah, y'all crazy. Oh man, this was a very, very interesting week. It was a lot of conversations in the chat, especially. It has to be over 99 voice memos in there. And also in the recaps, all of the comments and stuff. It was definitely a way to kick off July sweeps. So, kind of to throw out, I think I did throw a couple of little spoilers for next week. We did see the scene with Chelsea and Adam kissing. We have Alan kissing Tracy. Diane being held. Yeah, and the kiss is gonna leave her breathless. And then, like Jay say, is that Martin? I don't know. And then Jack and Diane will find out middle of next week that Kyle works for Victor, and that's going to be explosive.
Jack's fault.
Yep. Go look in the mirror. And then Bold, we got a unaliving next Tuesday. We got Paris confronting Hope because of course she eavesdropping Hope, trying to come on to her fiance, and Paris is not having it. I want to see what type of spice that she's going to give Hope. How feisty is she going to come? She going to bring the heat or not? We got and then the other thing we have is a competition between Katie and Poppy heating up, and the party is on Friday. That engagement party is on July 5th.
Why is Hope in that preview?
Huh?
Party.
A girl.
Brooke was there. Carter was there. I want to know if Carter's going to say anything to Paris.
Do you guys right quick think that Brooke is going to get defensive and say, how could Thomas do this and blah, 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 blah?
Sure.
Yes, because Hope is hurt, and she forever wants to save her daughter from something. So she's going to stick up for her daughter to some degree. But I think maybe a tiny part of her is cheerleading for this engagement and that he's moving on. But she's going to try to still fight for her daughter.
Yeah, I have a feeling that she's gonna be like, how can he do this? He don't love her. He loves you, and you know how Brooke is, and she started crocodile tears and everything else. So
I'm curious to see if Paris's family actually shows up. I was trying to go back to that clip and see if we see like a guest person from her family. If I don't, then I can definitely write this off that this is not a serious relationship.
So I know everybody was talking about July 1st, the week about a medical emergency. Now I haven't seen anything unless that unaliving has something to do with the medical emergency on Tuesday. So maybe that, because that's July 2nd episode. So maybe that's what that is, because a lot of people was thinking the medical emergency might have had something to do with Hope. I don't know, but we do have that. That person that's supposed to be out on Tuesday. So, I don't know, maybe that's what it's referring to. And then there's a lab tech coming or something for something. So.
I wonder what for.
Oh, Bree. Well, yeah, but my thing is, if they get rid of Tom, how you gonna test? If they're trying, if he's not able to tell, what are they testing for?
And that's why I'm hoping that it's not him. I think it might be Hollis or somebody off screen, but only
I
time
don't
will tell.
understand. Why would you think? I'm just curious because I know you brought that up earlier. Why would you? What would make you think it's somebody off screen in reference to creating a whole summer mystery around it?
I I mean, if they're making a whole summer mystery, that means it's going to have a lot of moving parts. And plus, the Bold has done it before with Caroline. Um, like we didn't see her on screen. The actress was on a different show, but they unalived her off screen, and it was a whole thing that as to why he was so pulling towards hope, why Douglas was pulling towards hope. So they can like, and plus we don't hear about those other characters anyway, so they could easily unalive them and go from there. But I'm leaning more towards Hollis, especially since Tom was already suspicious of Sheila and she's already has her guard up with Tom. I cannot see them getting rid of Tom at this point. But I mean, hey, Bold writers have been doing a lot of weird stuff this year, so I don't know.
Yeah. You know me, I'm be looking first thing because I usually get, access and get to see stuff before the air the day of. So believe me, I will be dropping it in the chat to be like, oh, this is who's gone. So,
Yeah, I can't wait.
all right, you guys, we're going to end it right here. We actually did almost 3.5 hours today. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot to cover. Bold took up a lot of that. But yeah, just stay tuned for everything. I'm gonna do the full spoilers over the weekend, for the week of July 1st through the 5th. I know next weekend is a holiday weekend. So I still plan to do, I don't know if any of you guys going out of town that weekend, hanging out with fam. I know Keish travel a lot. Are you going out of town, Keish?
No, not this weekend.
Okay. All right. What about the rest of you guys? And y'all, are y'all good for next Friday?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 I don't know if anybody's be spending the weekend. That's a long weekend for some folks. I'm off that Friday and that Thursday, so happy about that. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week. And again, stay tuned for the spoilers, the recaps, the standalone videos, and everything else. Talk to you. Oh, and the midweek chat. We'll do that also next Wednesday on the 1st. On the 3rd. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.